Cancel the U2 concert.
Boy, oh boy, did I have a great tirade.
Don't fucking do it. This should be like a 1.5 point line.
Oh, they just scored again.
I think he's the clear-cut winner.
That's the only good move.
That's it.
Welcome to the Thielet and Graves podcast. I'm Thielet.
I'm Graves, and we're just two dudes like yapping about sports.
Welcome to the Thielet and Graves podcast. My name is Ryan Thielet.
My name is Isaac Graves.
And today we're just two dudes who like to yap about sports. But today's special. Yes, there's three people on here. As today we are joined by Jake Bell, who is 1/3 of the We Are Family podcast and co-producer of the Sideline U View, the Pioneer Sideline show. Jake, welcome to the pod.
Thank you guys so much. I'm very excited for this. Got a lot of good topics to talk about, so I'm excited to get going.
All right, so yes, today's topic, normally we do a run through of all the major sports, which is like the MLB, NFL, and stuff like that. But today we're going to switch it up and do a solo MLB episode. Yes, you baseball fans, you heard it, solo episode. Spring train's wrapping up. Today was our last game of the year.
Yeah.
And we start opening day, Skeens Day on Thursday. So we decided, you know what, let's just give the fans a little something special for the MLB season.
Yeah, let's have some fun.
So we're going to get started with players to watch for this upcoming season.
Yeah, so we'll go through pretty much each team. There's some teams that I study more than others. I don't know, Jacob, you're the same way. But we're just going to talk about players that we think are going to be like really hot, going to have a really good season, maybe a bounce back season if they're coming back from like an injury or just a down year. So I'll just kind of go through teams here. I guess let's start in the Central. What a team to start with. The Chicago White Sox. Why not? They have a roster of Luis Robert and a bunch of guys.
Yeah, I think Luis Roberts can be the only, honestly, I won't mind him being a trade topic in the trade deadline.
He was last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and he's under sort of a team-friendly deal. I know his contract's starting to run out, but the White Sox extended him early in his career, so definitely someone I think a lot of the better teams could go out for if he has a productive first half.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only player that comes to mind now that they don't have Garrett Crochet. That rotation is going to be... Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
All right, let's get a little more positive. Let's talk about the Cleveland Guardians. A lot better of a team. I'm going to be honest. I think Jose Ramirez is going to have a nasty year. I think he's going to be solid. I'm thinking like 35 homers for
You're thinking
Jose
about
Ramirez.
30.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. He's gotten very close to 40 home runs in his career, had a couple 39 home run seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Very possible. He's a fantastic player, probably the best all-around third baseman in baseball.
Yeah, and I'm hoping Shane Bieber can bounce back in a big way for them because their rotation was hurting without him. But we'll see. Any other players you guys want to watch for the Cleveland?
Yeah, you want to get started? Want to pick one?
Yeah, it's tough. They have so many kind of young, talented guys that can do well. I think someone that comes to mind a lot is John Kensky Noel, a guy who
Big Christmas.
Yeah, Big Christmas, a guy who started in the playoffs. But I also like Tanner Bibby a lot. He just signed the extension. He doesn't have to worry about finances anymore. He can just go strictly to baseball. So
Lane Thomas, underrated name as well.
That's right, and he's a fellow podcast member of mine, Peyton. He loves Lane Thomas. Yeah, that's definitely an underrated name. He was very good for the Nationals, especially a couple years ago.
I got one. How about the catcher for the Guardians, Bo Naylor? He's not having a good spring, but he's not having a good spring, but I feel like he has a chance to come out and be solid for this team because honestly, they have no hitting come out of their behind the dish. They have Austin Hedges as their earlier catcher. That's going to be on the opening day roster.
Pirates legend Austin Hedges.
Yeah, okay, I get Pirates legend. But I think Bo Naylor has a chance to step up into that hitting role for them because they need. I'm not saying they need more bats on the team, but as a catcher, you want to have a good bat behind there, more than just a defensive guy.
Right, and I feel like Hedges would be more catching once or twice a week, especially if there's a specific pitcher that would rather have that defensive option behind the dish. So I could see that. But I think Bo Naylor would be important to this team, especially being a former top prospect. So
Anyone else excited for the Diamondbacks Guardians series where we got the Naylor brother battle?
oh yeah, that's right.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because Josh Naylor is now a Arizona Diamondback. All right, let's talk about the Detroit Tigers. Very, very positive season last year, finally making it back to the playoffs for the first time in almost a decade. I'm going to be honest, though, their roster doesn't inspire me. I think they got a lot of strong guys. I think Riley Green is really solid. I'm a little out on Torkelson, I got to be honest, though. I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm saying he's trending towards that. They have the best pitcher in the American League, the best starter in the American League in Tarek Skubal.
Are we excluding Garrett Cole because he's not playing this year?
I guess, yeah.
Because we all know Garrett Cole is the best pitcher in the AL. Not even a question. It's not even a question, Isaac. No one throws the way that Garrett Cole does, and consistent as he is too for the Yankees. I mean, we're not talking about them right now, but the fact that you labeled him as the best pitcher in the AL when that's the same league that Garrett Cole's throwing in, it's a little out there.
Yeah. Yankees rotation. Ouch.
Yeah, well, half of them are hurt, so.
Yeah.
Okay, Kansas City. I think they're going to be really good this year.
Yeah, I think they're going to be that team that shocks everyone this year.
I think they could be in the 90 win column.
Yeah, it's weird with the American League Central. I've always been a big fan of their first baseman, Vinny Pasquantino. He's a guy that gets on base a lot, and I know it helps with Bobby Witt being up earlier in the lineup, right? He's able to get in the scoring position pretty easily, but he had close to 100 RBIs last year. I mean, he's a guy that can drive guys in, get on base, good all-around first baseman.
And I really like the Jonathan India pickup for them.
I do too.
I think that's going to help them out a lot more than people are thinking it's going to. They did give up Brady Singer, who I think is a solid pitcher, who was really solid for them, but their rotation still isn't all that bad. So I think, I mean, we'll talk about how we want how we want to see the division standings in a little bit, but Kansas City could be fighting for that top spot in the AL Central.
Agreed. I mean, honestly, I think the Bobby Witt Jr. and Jonathan India middle infield for the Royals is one of the more underrated middle infield in the all of MLB.
Oh, easily.
Because that's honestly, you get two consistent guys who are in the field that doesn't make the boneheaded errors that most of these younger talent are starting to do now. Where now you're getting Jonathan India, who was honestly the only consistent star on the Reds for the past how many seasons he's been with the Reds. And now you get the power with Bobby Witt on the shortstop side of I think you have honestly a great tandem in the middle infield, which is what you need.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. All right, last in the Central, the Minnesota Twins. I'm not saying they're going to be last in the Central. We know who that's going to be.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
But the Minnesota Twins, or as I kind of like to call them, the walking IL.
Yeah, they are severely hurt.
Royce Lewis already hurt. Byron Buxton, only a matter of time.
Yeah. He's so good too. He hits for a lot of power despite being
when he's
very
healthy. He is great. The problem is his hamstrings are made of peanut butter. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I don't know for Byron Buxton. You said. I mean, you said Byron Buxton. For as much as he hurts his hamstrings, why hasn't their their trainers come up with a way for him not to be pulling those hamstrings as often if he does? Because that's honestly his you can say chronic injuries. That's his chronic injury.
Yeah.
Why isn't there a program in there for him solely so he doesn't pull that hamstring, that doesn't kill them halfway through the year like it does every single season?
Yeah. Yeah, I try to study the Twins as much as I can, but I think they'll be fine this year.
They're going to be in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, they're going to be in the
They're
middle.
in the middle of the pack.
I think they just missed the playoffs.
I think Carlos Correa is going to have a great year again.
He was real good before injury, right?
Yeah.
Like in 90-some games, he hit well over 300.
Yeah,
so.
I think Correa is going to have we can say redemption year after being hurt for so often.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have that year that puts him back on the map. Because honestly, the Twins need that. They need that consistent leader in that clubhouse and inside the field. I think out of the entire roster, I think Carlos Correa doesn't have as much pressure on him, which is going to allow him to play a little better throughout the year. He doesn't have as much pressure as he has in the seasons in the past.
Yeah. You just reminded me of something. So one of the 2 games I went to, the Pirates were playing the Twins here in Pittsburgh. I don't know why. I still don't understand this, but Carlos Correa was getting booed at PNC Park.
But yeah, no, I don't understand why. Like, it's unless the Pirates are referring to the Astros cheating scandal as a reason.
Guess.
But
That's the only
still
thing I
weird,
could
though,
think of,
because
but-
it didn't affect the Pirates. It's not like because they didn't make the playoffs during the 2017 World Series run for the Astros,
And they're not even in the AL, so
Right.
why does it matter?
We can get into it. The Astros thing, it happened almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, why are people still mad about it?
I feel like it's the same way that people were with the Patriots and the whole
I mean,
deflate gate.
it's just annoying at this point. You keep bringing it up, and these players who were on that team get booed in every stadium. 10 years has been a long time. A lot of things change. People change. So why are we still booing about it? But moving from the AL Central, let's go to the East.
Okay.
That division has a lot of, I don't know. I think let's just get started with the elephant, the Yankees.
Oh boy.
They lost a lot this offseason with Juan Soto leaving, and then with Garrett Cole being hurt now.
Yeah. Not gonna play at all this season.
So they're losing their entire roster with just 2 players. So I honestly won't be shocked if they're with Tampa Bay on the bottom of the division.
There's like the upper this division is very split. Like there's really good top end talent. Like I think I don't want to spoil my division predictions, but Yankees are gonna be I have them right in the middle. Like it kind of similar to the Twins, except without the constant walking IL. That's just a one-time thing for them.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see. Anyways, the Yankees, I want to say we know Judge is still going to have a really solid year because he's Aaron Judge. But I want to see Luis Gil do well, I want to see Austin Wells have a really solid year because I think he's a solid catcher. Even though I kind of don't like the Yankees very much, but well.
I honestly, I wouldn't mind Cody Bellinger going back to the
I forgot about the
MVP
Bellinger
form.
trade.
People forgot he was one of the better, if not one of the best players in the National League in 2023. Like, he had a very good bounce back year in his first year as a Cub. So
I think now with him on a loaded roster with having a Judge, Paul Goldschmidt's on there now too, Josh Chittum's on there.
Yeah.
I think this relieves that pressure of being, okay, I'm not the staple of this team. I can go in and play my game. Where in the Cubbies, he was a staple of the Cubbies. And then those down years with the Dodgers, he was also almost next to the staple of the Dodgers. This is the first time since his, 2019 MVP season?
Yeah.
2019, that he's not the staple of the team. Or he can just go in and do his job and walk out.
That's crazy that he was a staple of that 19 Dodgers team.
Oh, insane.
Insane, because even back then, I know the Dodgers are the most loaded roster now. But they were still loaded. They still having Corey Seager at that point. Mookie. I mean, that roster is absolutely nuts.
But people don't really talk about around the time Bellinger won the MVP and years before that, the Dodgers won because of player development. It's not like they spent a ton of money their first year of the World Series. I mean, they developed Bellinger. Max Muncy and Justin Turner were guys that they picked up that were either DFA'd or their team just didn't want them anymore. And now they're starting to spend, but they started out developing and then spending, and that's how you're successful. You can't just spend without a plan. I think the Dodgers did that very well, and now, I mean, they got some of the best players in the game because they were able to build a foundation first.
Mookie was on that 2019 team, right?
Yep.
Okay,
He was not, no.
Oh, he wasn't. He was still on the Red Sox.
He was still on the Red Sox, yeah.
because he won the year before that.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Because it went Boston, LA. That's how. That's how I
Yeah,
remember
going
it.
into 2020, that was that blockbuster trade where Verdugo went to the Red Sox. He was like a big part of that trade.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
yes.
Okay.
That's how I remember that now. All right. Well, since we mentioned them, let's go to Boston.
They're going to be solid.
They're going to be solid.
Like,
No- I don't want to give away my.
I'm trying so hard
standing.
not to give it away.
It's just Boston. This is going to be Boston's rebound year,
It could be.
especially after how last year ended for them. This is nice. Like it'd be nice for Boston having a good team in there.
I don't know if I'm in the minority. I actually really like the Bregman pickup.
I do too.
I think people forget that he's only 30. Like he's not like one of these like really older guys in the league.
Like their corner right now, that third base, that the hot seat. I mean, you got a rotation of Rafael Devers and Alex Bregman. That's a solid rotation
And
right
now,
there.
earlier on, Devers did not want to move from third base. Now he's willing to.
Yes.
And you have a much better glove at third base with Bregman, who has World Series experience. I mean, that's crucial for this Red Sox team.
Yeah.
It's where
he-
would you like to see Devers go?
I think he should either play first base or DH. He's one of I hate to like say this about someone, but he was one of the worst defending third basemen in the league, if not the worst. His days there are over, and if you bring in Bregman, you have that plan that you want Devers at first or DH. I'd rather see him DH because Tristan Casas is still on the team and already played first base before. Just have Devers focus on hitting. I mean, he already got paid. He doesn't have anything else he needs to prove. You know, his offense is what is going to win this team games, so that's where I would put him.
There's one player here that he was a big name. I'd say like a year and a half ago. Now was the kid they picked up from Japan, that
Masataka Yoshida.
I feel like he's going to have a breakout year in the
Yeah,
MLB.
I was gonna say he's
I'm-
gonna have a
I'm fe-
monster year.
For some reason, I'm feeling that because he didn't have a good year last year.
No.
He was hurt too, right?
Yeah, it was hurt
Yeah.
for most of it. Didn't play solid. So now with a full season on his belt, he knows how the MLB works. It's different from how Japan is. So for him to get used to the MLB, and now he's used to it, I think he's going to have that monster breakout year for them.
All right. Let's talk about the Baltimore Orioles. Yeah, they're gonna be good.
Yeah,
They're gonna be really good. If there's one player that's not on my own team that I want on my own team, it's Adley Rutschman.
yes, agreed.
Like, I will watch Adley Rutschman constantly.
Constant, yeah.
Yeah.
And another guy for the Orioles, I think, could be a dark horse Cy Young contender is Grayson Rodriguez. He was a top prospect for them. He had a good season last year. Big strikeout guy, and I think he really puts it together this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at. I have the roster pulled up here, and so the one thing that I like about baseball is the rotation of the infield. You got to have a good rotation of the infield to have a solid team. Yes, I hear pitcher this, pitcher that. You have good catcher rotation, but you got to have a good infield because that's where that's where the bunts get laid down. Got to make sure they do all the right stuff. So I'm looking at their infielders, and I'm seeing consistent, great rotation out of them. I mean, when you're going to Ryan Mountcastle to Ryan O'Hara as a back-to-back first baseman, and then you got Jorge Mateo and Jackson Holiday in your second base role. I mean, I get Jackson is young, and he did not play well last year for being a top prospect as he was.
He's gonna have a much better.
He's going to have a
He
much
should.
better year.
He should, yeah.
And then you have Gunnar Henderson as your shortstop. I mean, what more? That's a deep team.
Yeah.
And
Gunnar is unfortunately on the IL to start the season.
then you can move one of those second basemen.
Yeah.
Because, okay, second base and shortstop are the same position, but just flipped on the infield, in my opinion. Because you're just doing the same role, you're just on the opposite side of the field. So you can put any of those shortstops into that, any of those second basemen into the shortstop role, let them play shortstop until Gunnar gets off of IL.
And not only that, like, I know you want Gunnar Henderson to start on the opening day roster and play, Jackson Holiday needs everyday at bats if he wants to improve. He has nothing else to prove in the minor leagues. He gets on base well over a 400 clip during his time in the minor leagues. Now you get him everyday at bats. By the time Gunnar Henderson is back, Holiday is starting to get used to the MLB a lot more consistently. I think that could be good for the Orioles. Again, I know you want Henderson to play a lot, but I think that could work really well for him.
Jack. The key to Jackson having a good year is that Baltimore got to keep him up and do what honestly the Pirates should have done with Henry Davis and give him the MLB reps.
Yeah.
Because Jackson needs MLB reps, everyday reps. He has to see that pitching at the top speed. Because AAA doesn't throw as hard or as consistent as the MLB does. That's the reason they're in AAA.
Yeah.
So for him to be back down for developmental reasons makes no sense. When you said he's getting on a clip of 400 on base, I mean, you got to get him up here and get used to the MLB.
Yeah. But those Orioles are going to be really solid.
They're going to be really good.
All right. Let's go to Tampa Bay. Hey, guys, there's a hole in your roof.
What are they playing this year? Are they playing
They
their
are
AAA
playing.
team?
They are playing at the Yankees spring training complex.
Really? I didn't realize that. Wow.
Yeah, so they're actually in Tampa Bay. They're not in St. Pete. I went to Tropicana Field like a month before the roof blew off. Like, and
Wow.
Great timing.
yeah, it was actually kind of a cool stadium, but at the same time, like when you've been inside PNC Park and everything in terms of like the tech just got upgraded, Trop feels ancient.
Well, I was going to say, we are also very spoiled that our home field is PNC Park.
Yeah, it was again ranked the number one
Yeah.
ballpark in
That happened
America,
like
which
last
is
night or
crazy.
something. I saw it last night. I was very pleased to see that.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm happy to not have a roof, and especially one that's not made of paper.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's get into the players that we see coming out of this Tampa Bay team. Tampa Bay, they're older. This is a very
That they are.
experienced team.
Which is weird because you feel like they're going to start rebuilding soon, but at the end of the day, you see their rotation. You're like, this is a rotation that can compete.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like it's weird. Like I don't really know what to
they're
feel about
in like that purgatory.
them. Yeah.
Like they don't know what they want to do. Like they have this solid rotation, but they don't know like, okay, we want to get younger.
They did lose one name from their rotation that I think a lot of people are overshadowing. Jeffrey Springs. He has always been super underrated to me. Really good in fantasy. I'll just say that right now. But yeah, they shipped him. And McClanahan's on the IL to start the season, which is not good.
Not good at all.
So I don't think the Rays are necessarily going to be bad because I think overall the entire AL East is stacked. But they're not contenders this year. They're not contenders. They're gonna.
I would like to see Kevin Kelly step up into a more prominent role.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Like he just hasn't. He's been dormant since he's been at Tampa. So like I would like to see him step up and. Remind me wrong. He's in the bullpen. He's a bullpen pitcher for them, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's coming out of the pen. So I think I would like because their pen is not strong, but it's not bad.
No.
They're in that middle room. So they need somebody to step and be like, okay, I can be your guy coming out of the pen when you need me. And that's what I feel like Kevin can do that. I mean, his spring training this, spring training that, these stats don't look great. But honestly, I think he's going to have a solid year and be that relief pitcher that they need. That consistent come in, do my job and walk out.
Right. And the guy for the Rays I expect to take that next step is Taj Bradley. I always thought that he was a good strikeout pitcher for them. Obviously, he's been a little bit inconsistent, had to move up and down the Rays system, but I really like him, and I think he's going to get more of an opportunity, especially with McClanahan on the IL, or the IR rather. Oh no, it is the IL now. I forgot to say it. It's a disabled list, now it's injured list.
Either works.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, no, I think that he could take that next step. So
Yeah.
All right, well, that wraps up the
We got the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, we got the Canadian team.
Yeah.
Thank you, ESPN.
Please pay Vladdy.
Vladdy's not staying out for this year.
Just do it. Do not let him go to Houston. I don't.
That is a very much possibility. They have a hole at first base. So.
No, ew, gross.
Or they don't because of Christian Walker, but
Yeah.
still they could use another hitter.
Gross. No, I don't know. Nothing about that is what I like.
So we are back. We had a little thing happen. That drew us off of screen. So we are back, and we're going to move on to the AL West.
All right.
Let's get started with the now named Las Vegas Athletics, or Aces.
The Oakland, Sacramento, Las Vegas. What are you, Athletics? we had the Washington Red Football Manders, but that was the team name. Now we're having a city identity crisis.
I hope they stay the Athletics though. At least I
do too.
love that.
I hope so.
I've seen a thing that they might go to like the Aces or something.
Isn't that the WNBA team though? Can they?
Might be. There might be a AAA team called the Aces.
They want to do something with the A, but let's just get into it. I don't like them moving. I understand what they're doing. I think they should just build another stadium in Oakland. I feel bad for Oakland.
They're still using the Coliseum. The soccer club there is still using the Coliseum.
Oh wow.
I just feel bad for Oakland as a city because they lost the Raiders, then they lost the Warriors, and now they lost the Athletic. Like they lost their entire sports teams all within the past 10 to 15 years. But anyways, let's get into the game. Let's go to this roster. This roster is what you can imagine, a very underwhelming roster.
But they made moves this offseason.
They have guys it's weird. They have like guys that they acquire, guys that they develop, and then everything else is kind of down below. It's a weird constructed roster.
I love the Severino pickup.
I do too.
I think he's going to have an insane year even for a team that's not, well, they're not going to win the division.
No.
But they're not going to be at the bottom, I don't think.
I think they're going to be middle of the pack, and this will be a very solid year for them.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind Luis Urias having a good year.
Yeah, Urias is going to have a good year. I like the Urshela pickup as well.
I think Zach Goloff is going to have a nice role for the Athletic as well. He's young.
Brent Rooker is insane.
I'm a big Lawrence Butler guy as well. I think he got paid as well. I think he could have another step up of a year. He really broke out last year.
He's only 24.
Yeah.
So like this team's not like how he just got done talking about the Rays not too long ago, how they were a relatively old team. This is a relatively younger team, which is nice to see that a young team is starting to hit their stride. I'm not going to say they're going to hit their playoff stride, but they're going to hit their stride and make the nice steps. This is going to be, I want to say a rebuild. This is like, okay, this is a building block year. So, I mean, they already have enough moving pieces inside the franchise, inside the organization in general.
Maybe this year's like a test run to see if they can actually run with most of this roster.
Yes, it'd be a test run year. From the Oakland, let's go to Texas. Let's go to Houston.
The Stros.
They should have kept Bregman.
Yes.
They should have kept Bregman. That made no sense moving on from Bregman.
They got Paredes from the Tucker trade, right?
Yes.
So he's going to be at third base. Yeah. I think they got him in case that Bregman was going to walk, but it's weird that they're moving Altuve to left field.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
Because if they would have brought in Bregman, maybe I get that, but like still not really. Like it's just weird to me.
Altuve is a second player that's been moving around lately. I mean, LA's moving Betts around too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like I get it that he's older and he's not as fast as he used to be. Then why put him in the outfield? Like at this point, put him as a DH because he's a consistent bat for them. I wouldn't mind Altuve as a hitter, just a DH, and bring up somebody from your system to play second base.
Yeah, or leave open a role for Pena.
Exactly.
And not only that, like people don't realize, like in my opinion at least, it is such a difficult position to learn out in left field because if you're going, like if a lefty's up to bat, the baseball tails from you a ton if he goes the opposite way, and that's going to be a learning curve for Altuve. So,
me too. I mean, I played a little bit of left field playing baseball, like going up through high school and everything, and you could easily tell when a lefty hit the ball, because if that ball looks like it's coming straight at you, it's going to veer straight off to the line. So
Absolutely.
you got that's hard for a guy who played second base his entire life. I mean, he might have moved around in high school or wherever, or down in the Caribbean, might have played different positions, but he's a second baseman. He has been second baseman his entire career. So why are you moving him to a harder position to learn? Like, I would understand what we did, like how we moved O'Neill from shortstop to center field. That makes sense. Like, if you're going to move him to like a center field or a different role that doesn't take as much to learn.
Yeah.
And especially if you're the Astros, who are consistently in the playoffs and consistently in the championship series.
Is their reign of terror of consistent AL championship appearances over, though?
It's so tough to say because, like, every year we say that's not the case. I know whenever the Rangers won it all, I don't believe, or no, the Astros did win that division by a game. I won.
Yes,
but still,
and it was the Battle of Texas in the AL championship.
I don't like. I'm looking at the AL, and I don't see a team that's not named the Astros that are gonna be in that championship series. Like they're gonna take out the Astros spot.
Yeah,
I think you're guaranteed.
Maybe the Guardians.
Like it all depends, and it also depends the seeding when they get into the playoffs. But that's 7.5 months out of proportion now. But
someone named Matt Palangi is going to be really happy that I mentioned the Guardians in the AL championship.
But yeah, no, I mean, I mentioned Altuve. I actually wouldn't mind is seeing Christian Walker be good for them this year.
Yeah, I mean they picked him up to do that.
Yes.
So yeah, he should be.
And not only that, but you can make the case that he's the best defensive first baseman in baseball too, and he can hit for power, drive
Agreed.
runs in. So he's the all-around first baseman that you could really use there.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Halos, the Los Angeles Angels. One word: oof.
Yeah.
Trade Mike Trout, please. Just get him off that team. I want playoff Mike Trout. That's all I want. I want him to at least go for the ring.
Yeah, they're not going to be good.
No, they're not. They're going to be in the bottom. Oh, they're just giving away my pick.
That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, it's not like that's a pick that you could go either way.
Yeah,
with,
no,
so
like that's like one of those. Like, there's not even a player on here that it's like that's going to be like a standout.
like maybe you hope Joe Adele plays
Maybe.
like his prospect value, but he's like, I don't know, he hit under 200 if I'm not mistaken last year. So.
I think he did too. So
Cut Anthony Rendon, please.
yeah, he doesn't want to be there.
That contract is so bad.
It's so bad, and he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Like, why are you keeping a
and now
locker room cancer?
he may not even play this season. Like,
Yeah, and the bad thing with major league contracts is that they're all guaranteed. It's not like the NFL where you cut him, you can save some money. It's just not like that. They're going to have to owe every single cent of that 200-some million that he signed for.
They paid that for him, but refused to pay Shohei. Let's just sit and think about that.
yeah.
Yeah. Did Shohei even want to come back, though? That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know that answer, but I know that their contract was offered. I remember seeing a thing that the A's did offer a contract, but they weren't in like the top 3 when it was.
Oh, wow.
I think they were 4th because it was the Dodgers, then it was the Yanks, and I think San Francisco was the 3rd team.
I heard Blue Jays.
Or Blue Jays.
Something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I
I'm
know
not
the
sure.
teams that never
Blue Jays
spent
were in the
that well,
final
but
running.
yeah.
I know there were rumors that he was going to go to the Cubs.
And I heard the Yankees like crapped the bet on the visit and didn't treat his family right or something like that.
Well,
I remember
that's
seeing that.
Wow.
Huh.
But anyway,
Sounds a little familiar.
Yeah.
Yankees.
yeah, yes, it does.
Any whoosy watsy. Yeah, they're not gonna be good. All right, let's move on to the Pacific Northwest, the Seattle Mariners. This team is so confusing. Like, it feels like they don't know what they want to be. Their rotation is insane.
Yeah,
Logan Gilbert
great
is
rotation.
Logan Gilbert is unbelievable.
Yeah. He's like another Stetson arm that's randomly really good, like him, DeGrom, and I think Corey Kluber went there too. Like
Yeah.
this random Division I school that produces Division I or fantastic major league arms.
But you saw the problems down the stretch for them last year. They couldn't swing a bat to save their lives.
And they didn't do anything to really fix that problem.
Yeah, they got rid of guys. That's all they did is get rid of guys. Like,
honestly, we were talking about that starting rotation. I wouldn't even mind seeing George Kirby come out as another prominent guy in that rotation. He's like one. He's like that forgotten guy. Like we have a forgotten guy. Like they have a forgotten guy on that rotation. So I think he's gonna be a guy who's gonna step up and be that day 3, day 4 pitcher for them. But yeah, no, I like what you mentioned about the bats. Like they couldn't swing a bat. It's like this team. If Rodriguez don't get hot, the entire team doesn't hit.
yeah, you gotta hope J-Rod has a really solid year, or at least doesn't end up on the IL for more than half the season.
JP Crawford could have a good year for them.
He could, yeah.
Jorge Polanco.
Polanco was a solid pickup for them a couple years ago.
They have guys.
They have guys. Like they could be a solid team. It's just they need to just get more guys who can swing the bat.
What do you think about Mitch Garver being at DH them for them?
That's interesting because, I mean, I know it's hard to determine the hitter's season in 2019 because everyone was hitting home runs. That was the peak of the juice ball era. But Mitch Garver is still a bat with a lot of power. And having him not having the catch could be good for them. I don't mind them at least trying that as a bounce back option because they don't have any bats. But a guy I kind of want to look at, I believe he hasn't been traded, right? Luis Castillo. I'm shocked.
I'm pretty sure Castillo's still there.
Yeah, I'm shocked they haven't traded him for a bat yet. He's been swirling around trade rumors. So
yeah, I think he's going to be that guy.
Even though he's older, he's still really solid.
He's 32.
Yeah.
He's 32. So that's for a pitcher that's towards the end of your career, but you're not at the end of your career.
Right.
I would also like to say Luis Castillo, great fantasy guy.
Oh, great
yes, big strikeout guy. Yeah,
big fantasy guy. Actually, it's a big day for the Thielet household. It's fantasy baseball night for me. I have my draft at 8 p.m.
I drafted like a month ago. I don't know.
I cannot wait. All right. Well, that wraps up the AL.
No. We got the Texas Rangers.
Oh, I forgot about them.
The Texas Rangers. It's Jacob deGrom's mound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's. I don't want to give it away, but like their season relies on him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can he stay healthy?
Losing Scherzer was a lot bigger than people are gonna make it out to be.
I tell you what, he was a big name coming out of college from Vandy a couple of years. Well, more than a couple of years ago now. What, like 4 or 5? Jack Leiter's big year.
Yeah.
4 or 5, which is insane to think about.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching Vandy play baseball. I'm like, oh, that dude's gonna be a dude. Then it's like 4 or 5 years later, we haven't seen him. Yeah. I think this is gonna be that year that we're gonna get. I'm not gonna say we're gonna get Vandy Jack Leiter, but I think we're gonna get a very consistent and solid Jack Leiter.
I really want Wyatt Langford to have a really solid year.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got guys. Like they have guys that can be really solid up and down the lineup. They have him. They have Josh Young, who's really solid. Like they've got guys that can swing. So
and they have Jock Pearson playing DH.
Oh, I forgot about that. He was a guy I wanted the Pirates to get. Like I think he would do really well. For
I think him and the DH role is going to be very, very solid because he's a better hitter than he is a fielder. That's always been a thing for him. Now at the age of 32, you want him as a DH. I think that's going to be a very solid thing for him. Yeah. Let him just sit down and hone in on one thing that he's good at.
And they signed him for what, 2-3 years?
Yeah,
like that's perfect.
Yeah, he'll be 35 by the time his thing will be over by then.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the NL. Let's start with the Cubbies.
You want to go our division first?
Yeah.
I was thinking we can save our division last.
That's fine.
We'll end with the Pirates and then go from there.
All right, that's fine.
All right. Well, let's stay in the West.
Okay.
And let's go where Jock used to be. Let's go to the Giants.
It was funny because he played for so many NL West teams. I wasn't sure what team you were thinking of for a second.
I was thinking of the Giants, the team he was just on. Not mistaken, right? He didn't go to a team before that.
Right. He was on the Diamondbacks last year.
Oh, that's
He's on the backs last year.
Yeah.
He's been on so many teams.
Yeah. Yeah. After the other NL West team, the Dodgers too.
NL West homer.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just talk about the Giants, anyways.
They're a mess.
They're a mess.
They try to make all these moves for these players,
I kind of feel
and
bad.
none of them work.
I feel bad for Giants fans. They're kind of like the West version of the Pirates in a way, because they have a gorgeous stadium, but they can't put a team. They can't put a team in there that people want to watch.
Well, yeah, that too, and this is the same franchise back in the 2010s that every other year either they were in the World Series or they won the World Series.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy stat line to think about. But they don't have an identity. Like I'm going to say their oldest. They have a player that's. Well, let me get. I think their oldest player is 34. No, sorry, 42. Forgot.
Oh wow.
Justin Verlander is on that team right now.
Oh my God.
So their pitching is old. They have old arms in the pen and in their starting rotation, and that's excluding even thinking about Justin Verlander, who honestly shouldn't even be playing baseball right now.
Yeah. He wants 300. He wants to be the last guy to get 300 wins. He said, I don't think that's possible.
I don't think it's going to happen.
No.
But anyways, and then they got young guys who are 25, 27, 26. Like it's like these like baseball franchises, they pride themselves on developing their guys.
Yeah, like I can't even like name a guy that I would want to watch for them.
Like I know Heliot Ramos did pretty well for them.
Ramos could be good.
Jong-Ho Lee could be good for them in center field.
Well, they signed Willie Adames to that big contract too.
Yeah.
I do not.
And that's the problem with the Giants is that they sign these massive contracts, and the team they don't stay on the team for as long as they could sign the contract.
Or they're in on a big time guy and don't get him. Like Aaron Judge was a name. I think Yamamoto or Sasaki, one of the two Dodgers pitchers. Sasaki they're in on. Like they tried, but they just not able to cash in.
And then the Aaron Judge thing is funny because I remember reading an early tweet saying he's official. He's going to the to the Giants. And I remember sitting with my buddy Sticks. I know you guys remember Sticks.
I remember Sticks. Yeah.
He was having a conniption in the library. I will never forget that. That was so funny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's like the story of their franchise in the past 5-6 years. They're in for these big names, but they just can't sign them. They just can't put pen to paper.
Yeah. Who they let Correa go as well, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, because of a physical he failed. It was them and the Mets that we thought he was going to go to, and it ended up not happening.
Yeah.
Honestly, there is actually I found a player I want of mine seen. Tyler Fitzgerald.
He went on a
Shortstop.
insanity run a little bit last year.
So I think if he goes back to when he was having that great run, I think he's going to be a solid player for them.
Patrick Bailey, I think, could have a solid year.
He's a very good defensive
Matt Chapman's going to have another good year.
Yeah.
So like I mean they're boom and bust. If you think like fantasy football, you always get those boom and bust players. This entire team's a boom and bust.
Yeah. One thing I will not say, do not use Verlander as your ace.
Oh, 100%.
No.
I think Logan Webb's probably the best pitcher.
Logan Webb
Webb
is your
or
pitcher.
Robbie Ray.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I forgot about Robbie Ray.
Exactly. All right, let's stay in the Bay Area. Let's go to San Diego.
Yeah. A little
Let's go.
little outside of the Bay
A
Area.
little outside the Bay, but we're staying in the state of California.
Yeah.
Let's go to Sandy. Okay. 2 years ago, we were talking about this team like they were world killers, being the best team on paper. Now they look like a skeleton of that team. No more Mandy, no more all their big names are gone.
Yeah. I mean,
Except
they still got
Tatis.
They still got Manny. They still got Tatis is still there. Getting Luis Arias was big because
They have Xavier
Xander Bogaerts.
Everyone's saying Dylan Cease might go before the season. I don't know if that's still true.
Ooh.
He's
I don't
such
see
a
that
good
happening.
pitcher.
That- no.
He's
It's
such
too
a good
late now.
pitcher, Yeah.
They have a great first baseman. Connor Joe is our first baseman right now.
Well, is Jake Cronenworth going to be there too?
Yeah, he's there. He's on the roster for first base, but Connor Joe is also on that team.
That's a really solid rotation of first baseman.
Yeah.
Gavin Sheets too.
He had his moments with the White Sox.
Because Connor Joe can also play outfield when you need him to. So if you want to have Joe play majority outfield and then have Cronenworth and Sheets going at it for first base, then,
Hear me out. Connor Joe's gonna be that player that's gonna come out of San Diego.
You think they like he has a solid year and they sign him to a?
I do.
I wouldn't be shocked. They
He's
have
not,
good
he's not
coaching
going to
now.
get a massive contract. I can tell you that one because this will be one good year of baseball. But I think he's going to be that guy that's going to surprise everyone and be that dark horse coming out of Sandy.
San Diego native, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
Yeah.
he's at home. He's in his town playing for his home team that you already know he probably grew up watching.
And he was teammates with Chris Bryant in college, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
right?
he was.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we stay in California?
Yeah, let's go to the Dodgers.
Those guys. They are the team that has the best chance to repeat as World Series champion.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. If anything, they're just getting better. And what's scary to think about with their rotation, Ohtani is projected to throw in July. So we're looking at the
Wow.
rotation.
Yeah.
We're looking at the rotation right now without Ohtani. Now throw Ohtani in that rotation.
They have once Otani's in the rotation, they have 3, maybe 4 aces. They have him, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, and Yamamoto.
And then we'll see how Sasaki does as well. And
We'll see how Sasaki, Dustin May is still solid.
Yeah.
If that, well, at least that Sal. Did you guys see that story where a salad almost killed him?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't hear about that.
That was a wild story. Apparently like salad got like stuck in his esophagus and shit. And
Jeez.
yeah, he like it messed him up.
All right. There's one guy that we're not talking about. Is a forgotten guy. Tanner Scott.
Oh yeah.
I think.
Who's gonna be the closer of that team? Because they got Kirby Yates too.
Yes, they do.
So
Their bullpen is filled with closers anywhere else in the league.
Yeah.
So I think Tanner Scott, I'm not going to say he's going to be their closer, but he's going to be like how we had Bednar. Now we have Bednar and Chapman. He's going to be their Chapman.
mhm.
And, well, obviously going to be better because we had an older Chapman. But I think Tanner Scott being at the only age of 30, I mean, having him in your bullpen, an experienced guy, an MLB experienced guy, it's gonna be great for them. I think he's gonna be a dark horse for them. People are gonna be too worried about Shohei, Yamamoto, and these other guys, and they're gonna think, "Oh crap, I still gotta go against Tanner Scott."
Yeah.
There's a name that isn't showing up on the roster that is he just missing? Where's Clayton Kershaw? What
Is he still hurt?
I guess he might be.
I thought he was still a free agent.
Or is he a free agent? I don't know.
I thought they brought him. Did they not bring him back yet?
They might not have.
Looking up
Because
right
it's
now.
almost like an assumption, like Andrew McCutcheon with the Pirates, that they're just going to re-sign him. But I don't know.
I'm looking up right now. He is on the Dodgers. He is just hurt.
Okay.
Okay. So then they have 5 aces.
5 total aces. He signed a 1 year, $7.5 million deal,
Yeah.
which is a lot.
So
for
once he
no-
comes back and once Ohtani starts pitching, their rotation is literally full of aces.
yes, full.
And that limits injury possibilities with a guy like Glasnow, and you can have a 6-man rotation if you
Well,
want and rotate guys
Well, how
out.
about this one? Push Glass now to the pen, and you get another solid guy. In
Now
the
that's
pen.
crazy. That's crazy.
Like,
No, it makes sense because if you're gonna get, honestly, the best player in baseball back to
No.
doing the two-way,
Put Dustin May in the pen, not Glasnow.
why?
because of injuries, maybe
Yeah.
that could work. But both guys get injured a lot. It's like, but they have they have options where they can have both in the bullpen if they really want to. I mean, they have so many pitchers.
Which is insane to think
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
All right.
Did they really need Blake Snell?
No,
It was just a flex.
yeah, we can get him. All right, well, let's stay in the West. Let's go to Arizona.
The Snakes.
Yeah, let's go to the Diamondbacks.
I really want Corbin Carroll to have a huge bounce back year.
He very
too.
well could.
Me too.
Yeah. Because
He's great in MLB The Show. He's probably my favorite player in the MLB The Show.
player in the show.
And his 99 speed when you just want to play small ball is amazing.
Just missing out on the playoffs last season.
After
Because
being
of
in the series.
that stupid last day wild card battle.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll tell you what. I won't be shocked that Blaze Alexander has a good year.
he could. He really
I can see
could.
him having a good year.
Yeah, I could definitely see him having a really
Or
solid year.
Marte can also have another solid year for them. Their pitching, I mean, it's consistent.
I was today years old when I found out Ketel Marte is 31 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably the best second baseman in baseball too. I can't name anyone else who's been as productive as him the last couple of years.
Oh, and that's also consistently consistently good. Like who can be like an everyday player.
Right.
And their rotation is pretty solid. Corbin Burns, huge pickup for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Him and Zach Gallen.
That's an insane one and two.
And they still have Jordan Montgomery too.
Yeah.
He needs to bounce back.
He
big
needs to
time.
bounce back big time. Now, Corbin Burns, good pickup. Contract TBD.
Yeah, I'm shocked they didn't use that on a hitter. I know that was their strong suit coming in.
Because that 6 years for an already 30-year-old pitcher is a little suspect.
Right now, ESPN has them having 7 starting pitchers on the roster.
That's ridiculous.
But they still have Merrill Kelly, right?
They still have
Yes, they do.
Merrill Kelly.
I was about to bring him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rin Nelson, Brandon Fott. Fott. How do you
I
say
think
that?
he should be a relief pitcher.
And Roberto Rodriguez is still on the team
Yeah.
too.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you what, one guy out of the pen that's going to have a good year is AJ Polk.
Puck, yeah.
Puck. I think
Yeah.
AJ Puck's going to have a good year coming out. He's 29, younger, and I feel like he could have a good year when you're having 7 starters on your roster. A handful of guys in your pen.
Right.
He's going to be your guy that you can go to.
He has been relieved from the hellscape that is the Miami Marlins.
I'm
Yes.
shocked they tried to make him a starting pitcher in the first place. He was a very effective reliever before then, and then they moved him to rotation because of injury. I don't know.
Welcome to Miami.
And they also have a 3 catcher rotation with Jose Hira, Gabriel
Moreno, and
and-
Renee Pinto.
Yeah, which is a solid 3 catchers, and you can move any of them to a DH spot if needed. Alrighty, let's go to the 420, the 420 city. Let's go to the Colorado Rockies.
Oh yeah, this team is bad.
Yeah, it is bad. It's probably the worst team in baseball.
They're forgettable. Like they are just straight up forgettable.
They're in such a hard division too.
Yeah.
I kind of
It's
feel
not like they have a chance to.
I kind of
turn
feel
around
bad
and beat-
for Chris Bryant in a way
Me too.
because he doesn't deserve to be on this mess of a team.
But it was weird because
I don't know why he even signed there in the first place.
like the Rockies going into 2021, they traded Arenado, assuming they would rebuild. In the offseason later, they signed Chris Bryant, who is older and worse.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't make sense to me.
like their front office don't know what to do with themselves,
And
you can
now-
see that all over their roster.
Yeah.
And now their outfield's hurting even more because Charlie Blackmon retired.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why he's still showing up on the roster, but
Does he really still show up on the roster?
yeah.
He wasn't even a late retiree.
No,
was
he
like an
retired
early
like
one.
before the season ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like the Thero Estrada pickup for them.
I do too.
I think he could be solid. Tovar's not bad, but outside of that, there's just not really that
I
many.
think Ryan McMahon's gonna have a good year.
McMahon could have a solid year, but their rotation is guys. It's just a
Yeah.
bunch of guys.
Oh, you forget who's playing catcher for them?
Is this?
Pirate legend, Jacob Stallings.
Yep.
Oh,
Him and Elias Diaz were the duo last year, which is crazy.
I forgot he was a pirate.
Yeah, he was a Pirate for a little bit.
Jeez.
He had that one monster grand slam, if I'm not mistaken.
That was so much
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Off of
yeah.
Edwin Diaz. Wow.
Yeah, I remember that very, very vividly for some reason. All right, let's go to the East.
All right, where do we start?
Let's start from the very south of the United States. Let's go to the Miami Marlins.
Ooh,
We'll go south and work our way up.
Woof. Yeah, that's how I feel about the Marlins.
Yeah,
They
they're-
do have a former Cy Young winning pitcher on their team, which is crazy.
Who would that be?
Sandy Alcantara.
No, I forgot that he's on that team now.
Ah,
That's about it, though.
Yeah, no, they just have a whole bunch of like,
guys.
yeah,
They just
older
have guys.
players, graveyard.
Yeah. Like I'm looking at like they.
Derek Hill can have a good year playing center field for them this year.
I get why they got rid of the guys they did, but I would do anything to Uno reverse card the Brian De La Cruz trade.
Yeah, and the good thing is, it's
Don't
not
even
like the
start.
Pirates
Hello?
gave up anyone significant, but
Yeah.
I think Jesus Suarez is going to have a good year for them. I think he'd be good playing right field. They have a lot of outfield pieces, a lot more than
Oh,
what most teams-
Sanchez.
Sanchez, my
Yeah.
bad. I think he could have a good year for them as well. I mean, Miami's just they just don't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah.
They're another one of those teams that they're like, oh, we have all this young talent, but we like these old guys better.
Yeah.
Let's use the older guys.
Like they have guys who could be solid on the top end, but they just don't have any depth.
yeah,
No.
I really like Xavier Edwards as leadoff hitter. I wish
do
he was
too.
leading off games for the Pirates. That would be fantastic. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's continue going up north from the NL East. Let's go to the Atlanta Braves.
Okay. They have multiple bounce back candidates.
Multiple.
Yeah. Acuna, huge one. Strider, another big name. With Strider back in that rotation, then their rotation is going to be
Not
really-
having Freed's going to kill them.
yeah, that's a big loss.
That's going to kill them.
It's not going to be a fun adjustment, but
I mean,
They-
do have
they-
Chris Sale. They do
they
have
they
Chris
have the
Sale.
reigning NL Cy Young winner in Chris Sale. It looks like Smith Shawver is gonna be up full time.
But what they did, they just replaced Max. They didn't get better. All they did was replace him with Blake Snell.
Yeah, they just have a lot of pitching depth on that team. And the crazy thing is, with all the injuries they faced last year, they still made the playoffs and won, 89 games? Or
Yeah,
whatever
which
it
is
was.
insane to think about.
Yeah. So imagine what they can be now with everyone healthy,
Now,
assumingly.
It's just the fact, can Acuna stay healthy? That's the
Yeah.
only thing.
hmm
I think Brian De La Cruz is going to have a standout year for them
Yeah,
because he, like,
the Jerkson Profile pickup is massive. for
Yeah,
them.
and an underrated move, too.
Yeah, and their infield is stupid.
yeah.
It's stupid.
When you have,
Nick Allen as a pickup for them even is underrated in that infield. Even though he's not going to be the number one shortstop, but because you still have Arcia and you want to use Nacho Alvarez Jr. as much as you can. What a name!
well, they're starting. Well, let's just go through it. Their starting infield is let's start up with the corners. Matt Olson playing first. Osarelli playing third. Now let's go to the middle infield. You're going to be Ozzy Albies and probably Alvarez Jr.
Or Arcia.
or Arcia. Like that is a consistently insane infield to think about.
Yeah.
And like their outfield's consistent too because they're gonna have Ronald Acuna playing right. You can put in Brian in center, and then you can plug anybody in that left field spot.
Yeah.
So like they have a good glove team. It's just the fact, can they hit?
And the Braves are able to have all this flexibility on their team is because they extended a lot of these guys early. Like Acuna could have signed a $300 million contract at least at one point in his career, signed a $100 million contract after his first year. You look at Ozzy Albies did the same thing. I mean, they're just such a good, well-run organization that they don't even need to spend a crazy ton to be able
Their
to
average
consistently
age
win.
is probably 30,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is insane to think about. They have all these young talent.
Mm-hmm.
Like they will easily be back to contending this year.
All right, well, let's go. Let's continue the trip up north, and let's go from Atlanta to
Let's go-
Washington.
Yeah, let's go to Washington. They're not going to be as bad as people think.
No,
Not at all.
I think they're gonna be a lot better than what people are giving them.
Yeah, because they have two potential Rookie of the Year candidates with James Wood and Dylan Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Agreed. I think CJ Abrams is gonna have a good year for them too.
I have Abrams in 2 fantasy leagues, so if he doesn't do good, I'm screwed.
I think Josh Bell is gonna be a comeback player this year
Yeah.
for them.
I like the Nathaniel Lowe pickup.
I do a lot. He's going to drive guys in for that team.
Yeah.
Garcia Jr. is gonna be consistent again for them.
Paul DeYoung is a depth guy. Solid. Yeah, I think
Dylan Cruz is another one in the outfield that could be good for them too.
I still don't have them making the playoffs, but they're going to be right on the edge.
Yeah, they're gonna be a sneaky team. They're gonna be a team that you didn't think was gonna be good, and then like come late July, early August, you're thinking, Oh, they're actually high up in their rankings right now.
Yeah, and look how they truly mastered that Juan Soto trade. I mean, Abrams and Mackenzie Gore are looking like building blocks for the future
Exactly.
on that team. So,
All right, let's go to Philly.
Oh, filthy Delphia. Ah,
All right. I mean, they're going to be good again.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're gonna
there's
be
no
really
way
good.
around it. They're going to be,
Yeah.
in top tier again. They're also one of those stacked teams.
yeah.
I just wish that was on this side of the PA border.
Just from someone who tries to watch the Twins as much as possible, don't complain when Max Kepler can't bat above 100.
interesting.
Max Kepler's not good. He's just not good. But you know what? It was a cheap deal. It's whatever. He's that last guy in that outfield.
What I don't get that they don't do, why don't they just have Bryce Harper hit DH?
Yeah, right now it shows Schwarber as the DH.
Why isn't, like, I understand Schwarber being your DH, but when you have a guy who you're moving around every other year because of, like, defense, just put him as your DH and just have Schwarber play the field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so tough with the Phillies. They have so many guys that are very good hitters but can't field. I know Castellanos went on that streak without making errors, but he doesn't have any range out there in the outfield. So
I'm going through his roster right now and trying to pick a dark horse, but you can't pick a dark horse with this team because everybody's been on top of the league.
Yeah.
Like, there's not, like, you can't even say Brandon Marsh is going to have a bounce back year because he had a good year last year. You can't say Johan Rojas is going to have a bounce back year because he had a good year. Nick Castellanos,
Trey Turner.
like,
oh yeah, Trey. I forgot about Trey Turner. Wow.
Bryson Stout. I mean, Sosa is also another one that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, this team's like not a team that has dark horses.
Yeah.
No. And
Unless you count Andrew Painter because he's healthy again, but we already know how good he's been in the minors.
Like,
So.
none of these guys are guys that are like, oh, well, I found one finally pitching. Tajon Walker.
Taiwan Walker, yeah.
Taijuan Walker is going to be good for them. He's going to be, look, when you have a Zach Wheeler as your ace,
and Aaron Nola.
yeah, it's he's a day 3 guy, which is, if you look like come playoff time, those are your top 3 is like game 1, game 2, game 3. That's a scary rotation to go against.
And they rescued another solid guy from the Marlins, Jesus Luzardo.
Yeah. And they also have Christopher Sanchez in that rotation too, who's pretty good for them. So yeah.
All right, well, let's go north. Let's go to New York. Let's go to the Mets.
Holy contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy contract.
To where he's
is
going to
great.
be a DH eventually.
Yep.
He should be DH now.
Whoa.
I mean, you can make the argument for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He should be a DH now. He's a DH on my MLB The Show team because I don't trust him in the outfield.
But no, the Mets are going to be really good.
They're going to be good. It's just going to be funny because I love the New York and Philly rivalry. And it's going to be fun.
Let's just say it right now. The NL East is going to be the most competitive division in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
I mean, I don't want
Minus
to.
the Marlins.
Yeah, I don't want to like.
Yeah, they have 4 really good teams and 1 terrible team.
I don't want to spoil my predictions, but I think there'll be 4 80+ win teams in that division.
Yeah.
You know, like I really think that could be the case. So.
Yeah. No, I think they're going to be really solid. The pickups they made, everything good. Obviously, Soto is the big one. But other guys in that outfield, getting Jose Siri, that he could really bounce back there after a
Shaky
year in Tampa Bay.
And that gives you that flexibility if you want to trade a guy like Starling Marte, who's expiring on a contract, and you want to add pitching if they continue to be on the injured list. So
Bring Starling Marte home.
I was going to
Bring him
that would be
home.
interesting. I mean,
Since we love bringing back players, we should just say screw it and bring him back. And you were thinking, Edwin Diaz didn't play baseball last year.
that's right.
Oh my
And he's
God.
back this year. The Trumpets are back.
And it's like every other year he has a dominant season. Now he was out all year. Maybe he's back to being dominant. We'll
I think-
see.
Maybe.
If you look at it, I mean, they got him. They have Clay Holmes coming out of the pen now.
They picked up AJ Minter
Yeah.
in that bullpen.
So I think
Yeah.
Edwin Diaz is going to have a bounce back year
Yeah.
because he's mad that he missed the entire season.
Their rotation, it's kind of confusing how it's organized. Because, like, do you use Kodai Senga as your ace for even after Minaya comes off the IL.
Yeah.
I think Senga is the best starting pitcher on that team when healthy in 2023?
Yeah.
Or that was his first year. Yeah,
But
he was
that's the
fantastic.
thing. Can the Mets stay healthy? That's been the Mets' problem for as long as I've been watching baseball. The Mets they get real hot and real good, but they just can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
That's always been the Met curse.
Yeah. I mean, great year in 2022. 2023.
But let's just not talk about it.
They were celebrating their World Series
In spring
celebration in spring training.
Yeah, they were.
And
I'll
then-
never get over that. That was so
And
funny.
then the effect of Grimace in 2024.
Yeah, that was insane. They were on pace to be one of the worst teams in the league earlier on.
Yeah, they were. And then Grimmins comes around and changes your entire season.
Yeah. All right. It is that time.
Let's go to the Central.
Oh boy.
Let's start off with the overhyped Chicago Cubs.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
They're overhyped.
Overhyped Cubbies.
They
What
made one move.
what
One
did they
move.
do outside of getting Kyle Tucker?
Nothing.
Yeah.
All right, but player-wise, if there's a player that's going to have a good year, old man Turner. I think Justin Turner's going to have a
Ooh,
bounce back year
yeah.
coming out of there.
At 40 years old, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, I think now that Bellinger's gone, even though they play opposite sides of the field, I think Dansby Swanson's going to have a really solid year.
I think Ian Happ's going to be a solid for them too again this year.
Yeah.
I'm not just being biased because he's a Pittsburgh boy, but
PCA could have a good year.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everyone by how they say that he could be an all-star eventually. He was the guy, and I think he was the only guy that the Cubs acquired in the Javi Baez trade.
yeah,
I'm not mistaken.
he's the only
so-
guy that they
yeah.
got out of that.
Well, now it looks like they won the trade
Yeah.
because that was not a good
Well,
investment.
at least the Mets didn't bring him back. you
That was
know?
not a good investment by the
Yeah.
Tigers.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
they didn't do that. All right, well, let's stay in let's go to actually, you know what? Let's go to Ohio. Let's go to
All right.
Cincinnati.
Let's go to Cincinnati.
Okay, what did they do this offseason? Nothing.
They did not,
They got rid of Jonathan India.
Which is dumb.
Yeah.
The Reds
They
are,
got Gavin Lux though to replace him, right?
yeah, but
They got Gavin Lux and they got Brady Singer.
the Reds
Yeah.
are being the Reds. They have a chance to be really good because they have some superstar on their team. They're just not doing the right moves.
Well, hiring Terry Francona is a huge
huge
thing.
step.
They need an experienced and a winning manager on that team.
Yeah. That's really solid for them. Cleveland just said, "Here you go."
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we can say L.A. De La Cruz is going to have a good year because he's going to be good.
Here's one guy I want to mention for the Reds that I think will be the best hitter on that team, and that's Matt McClain. He missed all of last year, but whenever he was playing in 2023, he was unbelievable as a
that.
middle infielder.
I like that a lot.
I think Gavin Lux is going to have a good year for them too.
Yeah.
As one of those guys, the middle infield corner piece.
CES, I think, could have a solid year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, over under Ellie 35 homers.
Under.
I'd
What?
say under as well.
Wow. Okay.
You gotta realize when you spend half your season playing Paul Skeens or Jared Jones.
I guess. Yeah. But you know what? Screw it over. I'm sorry.
All right, let's go to
Maybe
St.
him and O'Neal Cruz can both be 40-40 guys.
That'd be cool.
Hey,
That would
that'd be
actually
sick.
Really cool, yeah.
All right. Let's go to St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
What are you doing? Like, what are you
Like, they-
doing?
You feel like they're rebuilding, but they haven't shown many signs that they are.
No, it's
Other than they didn't bring Goldschmidt back, but they didn't trade Arenado, which is really weird to me.
I think he's going at the deadline.
He would have to, I'd assume, unless
Yeah.
the Cardinals somehow
This
exceed
dead-
expectations.
this year's deadline is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
A lot more interesting than what people think. I think there's a lot of big names that are going to be traded come deadline season.
Yeah.
And we're going to be like, oh, we didn't realize he was on the thing.
Yeah.
Jordan Walker is going to have a good year for St. Louis.
I hope. I want.
really hope
I
he has
want
a
him
good
to
year.
do good.
I mean, they should give him every day at bats. They should not like move him around, option him in AAA. Like they have nothing to lose. Like he showed signs a couple years ago. Like you got to give him every day at bats in the major league level.
Agreed. All right,
for sure.
let's go to the big one. Yes, Milwaukee. I'm joking. I'm going to tease everybody. We're going to save that team for last. Let's go to Milwaukee. The team that about 3 years ago was on top of the division. Now they might not even be a part of playoff talk.
I agree, actually.
Oof.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I should pay more attention to them, but I just don't.
There's nothing to be excited about but this team.
It was
I
just
mean-
they weirdly won a lot of games last year, but now they don't have Adamas. It's just, I don't know.
They lost too much.
I mean-
and they're going to realize they lost too much
You can
too late.
hope.
Yeah.
You can hope Yelich has a bounce back year, but
I don't see that happening.
Yeah, he still has been good the last 2 years, but he's
then
not the
he
MVP.
spent most of the second half on the IL last year. So
Joey
it's
Ortiz
tough.
could be good for them too.
Joey
a
Ortiz
good
could be
player,
solid.
Tyler Black could be another one to be good for them.
Bryce Terang,
Oliver Dunn.
Jackson Chorio, too.
Jackson Churio could be really solid.
Reese Hoskins is on that team. I want everybody to remember that.
He got hurt a lot last year. But
Yeah,
he was
I think
solid when
he-
Well,
played.
that last year in Philly is when he tore his ACL.
That's right.
And then he came back, was decent, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He was a fantasy terrorist.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it out. This is another older guy. When you use Christian Yelich as just a DH,
That's interesting. I feel like the Brewers aren't rushing it now because they're paying him so much, and they don't want to have to pay a guy nearly $30 million a year to be a DH.
I don't
But it's
think
going to be a move they have to make soon.
I don't-
It's gonna be sooner than later.
I'm not quite ready to see Churio as the full-time starter in left field.
But it could happen. It could happen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing it halfway through the season.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but it all depends how their season goes.
Yeah.
All right.
Churio needs to hit more.
Oof.
Mhm.
All right, let's come back home. Let's bring it home. All right, we are a Pittsburgh podcast. We are located in Pittsburgh. We are all Pirate fans. We all live in the Pittsburgh area. We have been through the highs and the lows. And let's talk about this team.
For what feels like forever, it has been low, 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 and low.
And though.
Yeah.
But anyways, so looking at this roster, let's pick a guy that we see could be a dark horse for the Pirates.
Okay. Dark horse.
Paul Skeens, dark horse. Joking. I'm joking.
Paul Skeens Cy Young.
Oh, that's more reasonable than anything.
Yeah. That might be a dark horse. But no. Dark horse for me, give me Endy. I think he could be really solid. Like
I mean, he has a lock on the opening day roster now that Henry Davis got sent down. So
yeah.
By the way, Joey Bart, Eddie Rodriguez is a back-to-back catching duo.
Yeah.
Well, they also have Endy getting reps at first base. I think he's starting today at first base, if I'm not mistaken.
I think
That's something to
so.
watch out. Him and Triolo could split time
Yeah.
at first base until Horwitz is back.
Yeah, which is nice. But the thing about it is that when you have a good duo like that, use it.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
I've mentioned this before, but Endy Rodriguez by far is the best fielding catcher on this team.
Oh,
He had 3 defensive run saves in 50 games in 2023. That's outstanding. And I if you've heard me talk about this, I've said this a lot. I would have rather them going into spring training move Joey Bart to first base and have Endy as the catcher.
Ooh.
Agreed.
Because Joey Bart's offense is crucial to this team. And you want him to play a position where he's not having to really focus on defense. If you have him as a first baseman / DH, then you can platoon with Horwitz. You could also have Kutch not play as many games. It could work out.
They tried to use Yasmani Grandal at first base.
I remember that.
I almost kind of would have wanted them to bring him back too and use him as more of a first base.
Him and Paul Skeens were the battery that did real well. So
I have honestly 3 players I wouldn't mind having a good year. IKF, which
Yeah.
is
yeah.
say what you want, that is a good pickup for the Pirates. Because not even 3 years ago, he was on the Yankees starting for their playoff roster.
You gave him a couple games and he was hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was hot to end the year.
I think Jack's gonna have a good year.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys don't know who I mean by Jack Sawinski, I call him Jack.
Yeah.
And Tommy Pham, the guy that everyone was upset about us getting. I think he's gonna have not a I'm gonna be on top of the MLB league year. I think he's going to have a nice, consistent, solid year for us. He's going to be a cornerstone piece for us.
Here's a pickup that I think makes no sense. For the purpose of what did we bring Adam Frazier back for?
Nostalgia?
Yeah, it's
Sure.
just there's a lot of guys that I would have liked to see play like Nick York make the opening day roster instead. I feel like he has more upside. But yeah, like Frazier, I don't know if they just wanted an extra lefty. I don't know if that. I don't really know.
We need
though.
lefties.
Yeah.
We needed lefties on this
Yeah.
team. We're so predominantly on the right side or a switch hitting team
Yeah.
that it's like you put a lefty in and we're screwed.
But there's a lefty on the team that you mentioned about Jack Sawinski. Now that they DFA Palacios, I would be shocked if Sawinski doesn't make the team. And I feel like we could see a lot of Sawinski against righties. In
Agreed.
2023, he slugged over 500 against righties, OPS well over 850. I could see him mix time with Tommy Pham and Kutch, where I could see Sawinski out and left against righties, Tommy Pham and Kutch against lefties. I don't think Sawinski should face lefties. And Tommy Pham and Kutch could switch time because I don't think with their age they're not going to be playing every
Kutch
day.
in the field.
No, I feel like he would DH either
Yeah,
way.
no.
If against righties though you move Sawinski in the left, I would rather have Sawinski DH because I feel like his bat's more important.
Yeah.
But with the age of Pham and Kutch, it might not be bad for them to not only not play every day, but not be in the field every day.
And don't
either.
forget, we still have G1 Bay too.
And he's on pace to make the team if they have 13 hitters on the roster.
We won't see this roster, as I saw a thing, until Wednesday is the day that is rumored that we might see our roster.
Yeah.
I mean, this team has a lot of like dark horses. This team's filled with dark horses.
No, this team has a lot of talent. Here's a really solid. I don't know if he's a dark horse. I don't know, but I think Nick Gonzalez is going to have an insane.
I hope
year.
so. I was jumping up and down whenever he got drafted. I did not think he would last to the Pirates. And then I remember the Orioles drafted Heston Kjerstad way earlier than he was supposed to. And then the Marlins with Meyer from Minnesota. I was
Yeah.
like, this could actually happen. And he's been a productive hitter for this team.
I was at Nick Gonzalez's first game up here, and again, I mean, I'm a baseball fan, but I don't know these players off by heart coming through the minors. So when he came up, and I was told that he's going to be a guy, and I was so excited to sit in those stands. And he had a home run in his first game or first weekend up there. And so like he's good. He's a good. For once, we have a good second baseman. It's probably the best second baseman since Neil Walker we've had.
I think he could be consistently productive like Neil Walker, where he's not a world beater, but he's a good hitting second baseman that could be consistent every year.
Agreed.
And drive runners in. So
All right. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll dive more into the Pirates. Probably we're going to give our little guess on where in the starting rotation and lineup these players can be placed.
Yeah, and we'll give our standings predictions finally, because it's driving us insane.
Yes. We'll see you then. All right, welcome back to the Thielet and Graves podcast. My name is Ryan Thielet.
My name is Isaac Graves.
And we're just two dudes like the Yap About Sports. And yet again, we are joined with Jake Bell from the We Are Family podcast and sorry, Bryn, co-producer of the Pioneer Sideline on UView Television YouTube.
Go watch. It's a hell of a show.
thank you so much.
Yeah, you see me littered all over it.
I will make my return eventually.
Anyways, we left off talking about the Pirates. We're going to continue staying with the Pirates, and then we're going to guess our starting rotation, which is already published. We're going to see what we would like to see, and then we will also guess our starting 9 for opening day.
Yeah.
How about we do guess first, and Jake, why don't you take away with it?
Okay, so the rotation from what has been confirmed from Derek Shelton should look like, assuming Jones is going to start the season on the IL. I don't know if that was confirmed yet or
I
not.
don't think it was.
But assuming that they made this decision because of that, the rotation looks like Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller, Andrew Heaney, Bailey Falter, and Carmen Majinski was announced as the 5th starter. Him and Caleb Ferguson were being stretched out, I think, just as a cautionary thing. And then with Jones's injury, this makes sense. I would rather them go with Majinski as the starter because I feel like at least his ceiling is higher than a guy like Ferguson's.
Agreed.
So that's what I would see. Opening day, this is what I expect it to look like for lineup wise. Catcher Joey Bart, first base. I think it depends lefty righty.
Wait, you have Joey?
Sorry. Catcher Joey Bart, first base. I think it will be Endy.
He's going the numbers on the.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. You're
Yeah,
not saying you want Joey Bart at leadoff. I was like, wait.
Sorry.
I thought I said Bart at first base for a second. No, yeah. So catching Joey Bart in first base. Assuming Alcantara is the opening day starter for the Marlins, they'll have the lefty Endy Rodriguez at first.
He has been confirmed.
Yeah.
As the opening day starter.
So I would assume Triolo would bat against lefties because Endy's coming off an injury. I don't think they'll play him every day. And you also want him to catch because they sent down Henry Davis and Jason DeLay.
I don't agree with Davis being down.
Yeah, I whenever they said Endy Rodriguez was going to get first base reps, I thought they would keep Henry Davis up because of that to have a second catcher.
Or even move Henry to a DH,
right,
and let him take reps at the but we'll get into that at some point because that's a whole topic.
And I think Nick Gonzalez will stay at second, Key Hayes at third, IKF at short. I think the outfield, as much as I think Sawinski's going to see a lot of righties this year, I think it will be Tommy Pham in left, Ono Cruz in center, Brian Reynolds in right, because we saw last year Rowdy Tellez faced a lefty on opening day, but they did that because he was the free agent addition for the team. Tommy Pham is the same case, so I think they're going to start him opening day, and then I think Kutch will DH as well.
Someone go pay Rowdy Tellez, even a little bit.
He's on the Mariners right now.
He's signed with the Mariners.
Oh no, I think a minor league deal maybe.
Oh
yeah.
I love Rowdy. We disrespected
They
him.
did him so dirty, man.
We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
So Isaac, how about you go off next?
Okay.
Oh wait, sorry, I messed up. 1 through 9. Where would you like these?
Batting order? Ooh. So I don't know how I would like to construct this, but what I feel like they'll do from based off spring training, it looks like Tommy Pham will be the leadoff guy for them. That's what they've been doing. I think that would work. IKF kind of struggled in that role. He had his moments, but he hit 220 or 210 on the team as a leadoff
IKF
hitter.
at leadoff isn't great.
Yeah, I think he's better suited as an 8th or 9th hitter on the team.
He could maybe hit cleanup, but
yeah, it kind of depends. I think it will be Tommy Pham though leading off. I think Brian Reynolds has been in the 2-hole for a while. I think they'll stick with that. I think Ono Cruz will be up third. I think Bart or Kutch will be in the 4th, 5th role. I think Nick Gonzalez could be in the 5th role, but I think he'll be up 6th. And then you have Key Hayes, I think, will be up 7th. Either Triolo or Endy Rodriguez, whoever plays at first base, will be up 8th. And then 9th, I think, will be IKF.
I actually don't hate that. I
don't hate that.
I think that's what makes the most sense, and that's what it's trending to be towards.
Mine's going to be a little different, but yeah, that's not bad.
No, good.
All right. So, rotation. We know Skeens is the opening day starter. Perfect.
That's
Then
how it should be.
Yeah, exactly how it should be. Then Keller as that 2. Until Jones gets back, Bailey should be in the 3.
He earned it.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Bailey Falter fan.
He didn't look amazing in spring training, but he looked so much better than Andrew Heaney. I am sorry, Andrew Heaney looked like shit in spring training. He did not look good.
Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to work on some things. I mean, last year he was about as good as the worst quality start you can have, which is 3 earned runs in 6 innings. That was about his earned run average last year. So,
yeah. But then with Jones out, then I'd say maybe Heaney in the 4. And then I actually went to Majinski's first start. I got to see that live against the Twins. He didn't look that bad. I mean, the Pirates shut the Twins out that day.
Yeah.
So
one of the few times we did that.
But they only let him go about 2 innings before they brought Ortiz in for most of the game.
They used him more as an opener.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Right. So I want to see Majinski get more like maybe give him like 3 or 4 as a guy in the 5.
Yeah.
So
and they drafted him as a starting pitcher, but I think he's better suited as a relief pitcher. That's what the Pirates saw. But with injuries,
he's lethal as a relief.
Yeah,
he's lethal.
He
It's just the fact that are we gonna the thing about the Pirates is that their decision making. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's great. It's just late.
Yeah.
They are late. They're not proactive. They're reactive. So maybe this is a proactive move and move him to the pen. A very struggling pen. Let's just put it that way. I wouldn't mind him being in there as another setup guy because we need a setup guy. We don't have one at the moment. And Bednar can't be doing all the work all season. That's how you burn him out.
Yeah,
and then that's granted. Bednar has a good year again.
And the Pirates also pretty much announced that Ryan Baraki was going to be on the opening day roster, but they have to DFA someone to do so because he's not on the 40-man. So it'll be interesting. But they did add to the relief pitching just a lot of guys that are out of options, which is why Kyle Nicholas isn't going to make the team, which is crazy to say, but that's the reality. He has options, other players don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Did you go 1 through 9?
I did not. So, look, Pham looked solid as leadoff, but I still want to have Kutch at leadoff.
He did pretty well last year.
He did really well at
Agreed.
leadoff last year. So I would still go Kutch at leadoff, then B-Ray in that 2 slot, then Cruz at 3. Is it crazy to have Jack hit cleanup?
Against righties, that's not crazy.
No, it's not.
Assuming he got better with Matt Haig.
Yeah, I would maybe have Jack hitting
Oh,
cleanup.
is that his hitting coach?
That's the hitting coach for
The
the
hitting
Pirates
coach
now.
for
Yeah,
them now?
now that Andy Haynes got fired. So
Haynes, same,
call.
same shit, different day.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah, I would have Jack hitting cleanup. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does.
Then I'd say like Hayes at the 5, then go whoever plays second, if it's IKF or if it's Gonzalez at 6, Pham 7th, Bart down at 8, and round it out with whoever plays first, either Triolo or if it is IKF for a little bit of time or once Horwitz comes back.
Yeah, I agree with that lineup. We have so many decisions, and we're already hurt, and we're already playing reactive baseball, except starting out like every other team is. Or we have injuries in our first baseman that's already thin, and now Jared Jones is projected to be out for some time.
Great.
I don't know. I'm just tired of playing reactive baseball. But anyways, let's get started with my stuff. I have to go with you. For at least the first 2 months of the season, Andrew McCutcheon's going to be the one-hole hitter. He's going to be your leadoff guy. I get what you're saying about Tommy Pham. That was your starting, right?
It's weird. I don't know how I want the lineup to be constructed. That's just what I assume is going to happen based off spring training. So
I think Kutch is going to be your DH guy. He's consistently on base. He makes the pitcher work. He makes him go. I think I haven't seen the stat line recently, but he's a consistent 5 to 6 pitch player per at bat.
He walks a lot,
which is a lot.
Yeah.
If you guys don't watch baseball, normally the max pitches you get is 5. And that's before you hit foul balls and before other stuff happens. So you get 5 pitches. You get three balls, 2 strikes before you get the ball 4 walk. I'm not counting the ball 4 walk. So he consistently gets to a 3-2 count or a higher up count and make these players work, which is what you want as your leadoff guy. You want someone to make the pitcher work. You want your other guys to see what the pitchers are doing and what's working, what's not working for the day. Now, number 2 is going to be Brian Reynolds. He is your good leadoff guy behind that puts another consistent bat. When you have a guy, say what you want about Kutch's age, he still has a little bit of speed. He's nowhere near as fast as he was when he was younger, which is expected.
And that partial Achilles tear a couple of years ago was a little alarming.
But anyways, he's a good base runner. Now you put a consistent bat and another good base runner behind him as B-Ray, could be a nice little 1-2 punch to start off a game. Now this is where I'm going to change it up. You guys both had O'Neal Cruz as your third hole hitter. I'm going to have Joey Bart as your third hole hitter.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, you could go either or with that. So,
and I think, you could flip that. I just think O'Neal, if you want to start off a game hot, why do it with your consistent hitters? So let's go 1, 2, 3 with consistent hitters. Now this is where you get a little deep in your thing. You're gonna have O'Neill as your 4-hole hitter, who
You want O'Neill hitting cleanup.
yes, I want him as our cleanup hitter.
Okay.
Because look, if you load the bases, I mean, granted, this is a perfect scenario. Load the bases with a righty, that ball either is a hard hit double or it's gone with O'Neill. There's no in between. So if you get a hard hit ball with any of those base runners, you're getting a run in right off the bat.
Right.
So because they're all great runners. So now this is where I'm going to be a little different. Ke'Bryan Hayes is your 5-hole hitter.
Is that not what I said? I don't know. I think I might have said that.
You said that? Okay. Then I have Ke'Bryan as my 5. Jared Chirolo is my 6. Yes, Nicky Gonzalez is going to be your 7-hole hitter.
I should have really wrote this down.
Yeah, I know. IKF is number 8, and Tommy Pham is your 9-hole hitter. They're round out the season. I mean, not the season, the
lineup.
The lineup. Now, let's go to his rotation. 2 weeks ago, before Jared Jones had tightness in his elbow, I would have said the rotation should have been Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller, Jared Jones, Bailey Falter, plug anybody in the 5 spot.
Don't be Tommy John. Don't be Tommy John.
That's what I'm hoping it's not Tommy
Yeah.
John.
I mean, he throws so hard for being so skinny. That's the biggest thing for
Let's
him.
say he's 5'8". Oh, no, sorry. He's 5'10".
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 5'9", 5'8", 5'9". So he's only an inch or two taller than me throwing 100 mile an hour. Our arms are not supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and honestly, if it was Tommy John, we would have already known it's Tommy John. So that's why I don't think it's going to be that, because they still haven't announced what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little late in the process for it to be Tommy. But anyways, what I see happening is obviously Paul Skeens is your day 1 starter. They already announced. Mitch Keller's going to be your number 2. I'm actually going to disagree with you. I'm going to have, Andrew is my 3rd. Bailey's my 4. And then Carmen Munzinski is my fifth pitcher. Now, that is going to change. I feel like that's going to be a rotation for at least the first month. And then I want to be shocked if we not brought up Bubba yet, but brought up Thomas Harrington a little bit. Throw him in there, see what you got out of him. And then I think around like the late May, early June-ish, that's when you bring up Bubba and bring up into this rotation.
I see an article from Post-Gazette from Paul Zeiss. Pirates season might very well be resting on the discomfort in Jared Jones' arm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And the thing about our rotation, you could easily go speed, finesse, speed, finesse, speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about. That you can go, like my perfect rotation for the Pirates right now would be Paul, Mitch, Bubba, Falter.
Right.
That's it. Only 4.
You want a 4-man rotation.
4-man rotation.
Yeah.
And then you can plug some of these pieces that are starting in Indianapolis right now.
And then plug Jared back in once he's, healthy again.
Well, yes. Well, but then let's say they do the 4-man thing, including him. Maybe throw these couple of guys that are in Indianapolis right now that are good starting pitchers. Maybe do the unthinkable. Throw them in the bullpen.
Well, also, I mean,
like throw Thomas in the bullpen or throw Carmen Mazinski in the bullpen and see what they can do out of the pen. Because I get we made pieces in our bullpen, but we have guys that honestly you can groom them a little bit through the bullpen, and then maybe if Mitch Keller leaves or knock on wood Paul Skeens leaves, you just plug them into the rotation because they've already been playing MLB reps.
Well, here's a couple of guys that have been starting pitchers in the Pirates minor league system that I feel profile better as a reliever, actually. And that's Braxton Ashcraft and Anthony Solomito.
Yes.
I could see both of those guys in the bullpen because Harrington and Chandler profile very well as starting pitchers, but there's only 5 starting pitcher spots. Paul Skeens and Mitch Keller has that locked. Jared Jones has that locked when healthy. So assuming that Bailey Falter won't be here long term, Andrew Heaney's on the 1-year deal, you have Chandler and Harrington that projectedly should fill out that rotation.
Yeah.
I think Ashcraft could be a closer for this team, depending on if Bednar can bounce back.
Or you can plug him in that setup role.
Exactly. And him and Solomito, they have starting experience to where you can get multiple innings out of them. if you feel like your bullpen has been injured or you don't feel comfortable with some of these guys. I mean, those are guys to watch out for. I know Solomito struggled last year. Ashcraft had his best minor league season of his career last year.
Yeah, I think it's time for the Pirates just to pull the Band-Aid off the wound and bring up some of his young pitching talent, and say, you know what, we got to know what we have. And
they've done it. They've done it plenty of times with the batting talent.
Yeah, I think it's time for him to do it in the rotation.
Yeah.
We arguably have one of the better long-term pitching rotations.
Do we have the best rotation in our division?
Oh yes, hands down.
I think we have the deepest.
Deepest for sure.
We have the best, because you got to think, we have a phenomenal talent in Paul Skeens. There's nobody else like him in the MLB.
Yeah,
and then you got a guy that's honestly an unsung hero in Mitch Keller. That everyone forgets about, because everyone's so happy about the Allegheny Electric Company, Jared Jones and Paul Skeens. Have you heard that before? Have you seen those shows?
I have seen that, yeah.
So everyone's so happy about this young talent that we forget that Mitch Keller is here.
Yeah.
So I feel like we have a deep roster and a deep rotation, which I wish we had this rotation back in 2016 and 2015 when we were in the playoffs, because it would have been great with how we were hitting, and now we have solid pitching like that. But anyways, I'll stop dreaming about the old times. But yeah, I think we have a chance to make a run for something.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that, are we ready to use our young talent? I feel like we're in the same spot that the Penguins have been in back in 2016, 2017, where they finally said, screw it, let's use our young talent. And that's what I feel like we're in again.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, I think that's enough predictions.
Well, should we go to our division standings?
Let's go divisions. Right. Let's go to the NL Central.
Should we go backwards from how we did?
Let's go backwards.
Okay.
Let's go with the NL Central.
Okay. So let's start with our last place teams. Let's just say it. Jake, you want to start us off? Your last place team in the NL Central.
I have the Cardinals winning just under 70 games with 68 wins. I really think this is the year where everything goes wrong with them. They have to rebuild. And that's not something you really say. I mean, the Cardinals had a very good run, but I think last year was a little wishful thinking, because they were kind of competing in the division, then they ended up not making the playoffs. But I think this is the year where it all goes wrong for them.
I had the Reds in the last spot in our division. I think that they're going to be under the 70 mark with 65 wins on the season.
65?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I see it happening.
Ellie will not save them, eh?
I don't think Ellie's going to save them. I think a lot of pressure is going to be on Ellie this year, that he's not going to be able to handle, and I'm not going to say he's going to fold, but he's not going to be as good as he was in years past. So I think this is going to be the year that the Reds franchise gets a wake up, be like, oh, we are under the 65 mark.
Interesting.
Jake, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say the Cardinals will be last place. I have them winning 67. I think they are. They have nothing that screams, whoa, we're back. Like this team is just, they're not ready for anything, it feels like. All right, let's go to the 4. I'll start this one. Give me the Reds at my 4. I think they will finish with 76. So the last 2 years of the Pirates being at 76. Now the Reds will take the 76 win mark.
Now give me St. Louis at the 76 mark for that in that third place role. I flip flopped them. I think that the Cardinals maybe have an insanity run for 2 weeks and get the couple more wins that the Reds don't have.
Yeah,
and edge it out.
Well, I have the Brewers 4th in the division with 78 wins. I know a lot of people, every time I say I think the Brewers will be 4th in the division, they're like, what are you talking about? They're so good last year. It's just they keep losing guys year after year. I feel like it's going to catch up to them eventually. And there's 3 teams above them that I feel strongly could do at least halfway decent to where it's going to be a lot more competitive for them, where they're not just running away with the division.
Yeah, agreed. I actually have them in the 3rd slot. In our division.
You're the Brewers in the 3rd slot.
You never know with this division.
Agree. I mean, honestly, this is the worst division in baseball. Overall.
Yeah, well, both central divisions are the worst in their respective leagues.
But anyways, I think I get what you're saying. Like anything can happen. I think this is the anything that can happen. I think they lost too much.
Yeah.
And they don't have half the things they had last year when they made that late attempt to playoff push.
Right.
And you have the Brewers at how many wins?
I have them at 80, solid.
80 flat. Okay.
I could see that very well.
My, I'm gonna say third place. Give me the Cubbies.
Agreed.
Third, I'm gonna say they finish with 79.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna be that good. I
don't think they're gonna be good
I think they're gonna have a down year.
I don't think they'll be that good, but again,
this division is terrible.
It is.
So.
And actually, I have the Cubs at third as well, and I have them winning one more game than you. I have them winning 80. It's just they made a really good move in Kyle Tucker. He's gonna make that offense better. It's just I don't know. I feel like the rotation's top heavy with Imanaga and Steele. I like Tyon, but I just don't know. It's just
Tyon's on that team.
Yeah, it's just a weird
Pirates legend.
Yeah, I mean, I will think
have
the
his
Cubs.
signature.
I think the Cubs will be competitive. I just don't see playoffs. I think they'll win 80 flat.
I don't think they're going to see playoffs either. I think we're going to get one team out of the Central in the playoffs in both leagues.
I agree. Wait, do I have that? Yeah, I have that. One team in each Central making the playoffs.
It's like the AFC South and the NFC South for NFL. You're going to get one team out of
Let's
there.
be honest. The NL East could have all three wild cards.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
I could see it. It very well could happen.
Okay, well, my second spot is actually the Chicago Cubbies.
Ooh.
I had the Cubbies playing second.
Oh, boy.
Oh yeah. Wait to get my first
Oh,
spot.
boy.
Chicago Cubbies is my second place overall team, and they're going to be at the 84 win mark.
Okay.
And yes, my next prediction is about to be insane.
All right. Brewers are my number 2. So I guess I should shut my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you.
So I'm the only one with the Pirates at number 2, huh?
Yeah.
I have them at 81 wins flat. They do improve. I feel like it's not like a crazy improvement. I think this team has 94 win peak. I think it has a floor of less than 74 wins. I met around the middle, expecting them to win 81 games, hover around the 500 mark, and compete for the playoffs longer than they did last year.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
You want to say yours?
You heard it right here. The Pittsburgh Pirates will win the NL Central this year.
I love it.
It is stupid to say out loud, but they will finish with 87 wins.
I would love that. I would be thrilled.
I have them at 86.
I would be thrilled too. I would be so happy.
Look, yes, you heard me straight. Pittsburgh Pirates are going to win the NL Central. You heard us here, and
because there's no clear winner.
There's not, and this is great for us. I think this team needs playoff time because of how crazy of a pick that the Pirates are going to win this division it was. Our Cameron said, I'm done listening to you guys, and we're going to stop recording. Well, it's my time. I'm the irrational Pittsburgh fan of everything, and I don't think, for once, I think my pick for the Pirates win division isn't irrational.
It's not. It could happen.
Look, this team is hungry to win.
Watch them end up last again, I swear.
They're hungry to win.
Sad.
There's a quote from Alex, I'm sorry if I say your last name wrong, Stumpf from MLB.com and DK Sports. When he's interviewed Paul Skeens had this to say: I think we owe something to the city. We owe a lot to the city. It's our job to go out there and win for the city. Because this is bigger than all of us. There's a reason why Kutch keeps coming back specifically to Pittsburgh. There's something about this city we saw it last summer. We've seen it in the videos of the wild card game. If for context, the 2013 wild card game when we made a pitcher fall off the mound. I love this city. And then he goes on to say, I'm tired of watching them because it was a wild card series. The bar needs to be set pretty high. Not taking anything from those guys. The fact that that's a golden era of recent Pirate baseball, that needs to change. We owe it to the city. That makes me so happy to hear.
That makes me want to run through all of these walls here.
I'm so happy to hear that. I've obviously all three of us have all loved baseball. We all went to middle school at the perfect time, where we had that insanity run, the back to back to back playoff series that honestly made me fall in love with baseball. And to hear a player that's supposed to be that guy for us come out and say that we want to win, and we don't want to just win, we want to be in contention. We want to be the team that comes out of nowhere. And I think that alone motivates us to get enough wins in the division to push us into the spot for the Central to be in the playoffs. We're not going to be a high seed. I think we're going to be a lower seed that takes like the lower division seed.
Yeah. We'll be the third in terms of division winners.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. And I think we have a chance. Now, do I think we have a chance in the playoffs? It depends on what our rotation is around that part of the year.
But I will say you don't want to face Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller, and a healthy Jared Jones in a 3-game playoff series.
And then extend that from there. A 4-game series, but if we play good the way it is, bring up Bubba. That's not even a chance. Now you got to play Bubba on top of that. That's a little bit of a scary rotation to think about. And then maybe playoff time, push Falter to a bullpen role and make him come out of the pen. You get what I'm saying? Like, because you only need 4 pitchers in the playoffs.
Right.
Let's just be honest. There's teams that won with just 4 pitchers. So maybe push Falter to a playoff bullpen spot.
Maybe, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
And so it's not irrational to think that we can win the division. It's irrational to think that we're going to make the series. That's irrational.
Yeah.
But I think we have a chance to win this division, and it's a solid chance.
But this is the time to get our feet wet in the playoffs.
Yes, this is the perfect time to do that. Yeah. And I would love to see Andrew McCutcheon in the playoffs one more time in his career.
Please.
All right. Well, I gotta ruin everything by saying my division winner.
Oh.
Yeah. I have the Reds. I'm going the complete opposite of you.
Whoa.
Two. And this is why. They get an experienced manager. Like I mentioned, they have Matt McClain back. Ellie De La Cruz is going to improve. Hunter Green last year was one of the best pitchers in the National League.
Wow, he wasn't vomiting on the mound.
Yes. This is a good young team that now has a veteran manager that they should improve. I have them winning the division with 86 wins.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. It could happen. I just don't see it.
It's tough because I
don't want to crap on your take. Don't take it like
good.
I'm not crapping on your
no
take.
worry at all.
I just don't see the Reds.
Yeah.
And that's not like a disrespect to the Reds or the Reds franchise.
Francona is going to be a solid manager.
Yeah. He's going to be good for them. I just don't see it. I think they rely too heavy on on LA Cruz. Sorry, there's so many Cruzes in the league right now. So many good ones. So I think Ellie's just too young to handle all that pressure.
Yeah, they have a lot of young talent. What I'm banking on is for this young talent to improve. TJ Friedel and Spencer Steer were very good 2 years ago, kind of had a down year. I expect them to bounce back, especially with Francona and this improved coaching staff. So that's why I have the Reds winning the division. I just expect all these young guys to improve, and I expect the manager to kind of take it away. So,
all right, let's go to
the AL or NL East.
This could be a hard one. Well,
this is going to be
I know my 4 spot. I
know my 5. I know my 5 easy.
Oh yeah.
Are we all in agreement? Miami's in 5.
Marlins are going to be the worst.
I was about to do a 3-2-1 count off for Miami.
Yeah, we got Miami. We're not going to get into it.
Well, win total, I'm going to say 57.
Ooh.
I have them winning just 60.
Yeah.
Well, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, giving them 63. Because now that their rotation should be mostly healthy. Mm-hmm. They're kind of not because, what's his name? Braxton, I forget his last name. Braxton Garrett?
Yes.
No, is that
Garrett.
His name?
Yes.
I almost said Braxton.
He's going to be hurt.
I almost said Braxton Berrios.
I almost said too.
Yeah, he's out. He's out, and he's a productive pitcher for them. I don't know the whole Yuri Perez situation.
I don't know.
But Alcantara's back. You know, I mean, it'll be interesting.
For another year, they're going to be sellers in the trade deadline.
Absolutely.
So they're going to be in the 5 spot. Sorry, I'm so used to other sports in 4.
Hot take. The Fish will have the first overall pick.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, with the lottery, they should be well in that spot.
Yeah.
It's going to go to them in Colorado.
All right.
In my fourth spot, it's unfortunate because they're a solid young team, but it is what it is when you have three great teams in your division.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Washington Nationals. I have the Nats in the fourth spot, winning.
I do as well.
I do
83
as well.
games.
How many wins did you say?
Oh, sorry, not 83. 73 wins.
73. All right. I'm going to give them a little bit more leeway. I'm going to say 78 for the Nats. And I think they will just be, I think they'll finish 2 games out of the playoffs.
I have them at 80 wins, fourth in the division as well. I see this team competing for a while, but then at the tail end they kind of fall out of the race. But
Yeah, I see that happening. I see the youth getting to them at the end stretch, and
Right.
they're just they're not experienced.
mm-hmm.
I think they're just going to straight up run out of gas.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna run out of gas. I just think that they're gonna have we're a young team mess up somewhere down the road. But anyways, let's get to the third spot. Give me the Atlanta Braves in my third spot in the NL East.
Give me the same thing.
I'm going a different direction. I have the Mets third with 85 wins.
I have
Yeah, I know that seems crazy.
I had the Braves winning 85 as well in the third spot.
Yeah, I have the Braves at 84.
Okay, so we're all around the same
Win
area.
total, yeah.
win total. You're gonna have to win so many games in this division.
I agree.
This division is gonna come down to how do you play in your division.
Yeah.
But okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're
Go ahead
good.
and finish up your take.
So for the Mets, the reason why I have them third is because their rotation is injured. I think that's going to hurt them early on.
It will for sure.
I like Mark Vientos a lot as a guy that can improve from last year. He had a very good first full season. It's just I just don't know if the Mets did enough other than Soto to really take that next step.
I don't
So
understand why they brought Pete back.
they just didn't have any other option, I guess, at first.
Yes.
But
Anthony Rizzo is still a free agent. Everybody,
that's
what am I forgetting
insane.
about?
I mean, I know he had a down year, but like that's crazy considering his pedigree. So
anyways, let's get to the second position.
Let's go to second.
I have the Mets coming in at the second place in the division.
We're gonna be matched up in
Yeah.
this division. Yeah, I got the Mets as well.
Well, we're pretty. way to go.
yeah, I don't have that chemistry. I have the Phillies. I have
You have the
second
Phillies at 2.
with 94 wins. A lot of wins,
Oh.
but they'll be second.
I have the Mets having a lot of wins. I have them at 90 flat.
hmm
I have them at 91.
So we're
Yeah, we're pretty close.
but yeah, no, I think the Mets they're not good enough to win the division because the Phillies are just stacked. I'm not saying the Mets aren't stacked; they're just not as dominant as the Phillies are going to be.
They're not a team that's full of stars.
Yes, agreed. And I think the people that aren't stars maybe not pick up their end on come the crunch of the season,
They will be
which is going to cost
the
them.
Mets will
Yeah.
be the number 1 wild card,
Oh, for sure.
which would mean right now as it sits, it would be Pirates Mets in the first round.
That would be kind of funny. I would love that though. I would love that.
It would stress me out.
Yeah.
It would. I know. Granted, will we be going to a game? 100%.
Hell yeah.
I would pay top
Well,
row seats for that.
Yeah.
But
I guess technically it would be at home because
Yeah.
we would have higher seed because we would win the division.
yes,
Anywho's Watsy, yeah.
I would be so stressed.
Okay.
Every time Juan Soto's up to the plate, I would have to turn around and not watch.
Paul Skeens against Juan Soto would be the matchup of the century in
He'll
the
be the
wild
only
card.
guy in our rotation that I would not turn around when Juan Soto's up.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I'm looking the other direction.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes, I am sticking with the PA winning division. I have the Philadelphia Phillies winning division yet again.
Yeah. Me as well.
Well, I have the Braves winning the division. I have them winning a lot of games. I expect them to be a 97-win team. And this is why. Look at the injuries they had last year. Acuna missed a lot of the season.
Entire season.
Strider basically missed the entire season. You saw Matt Olson have not a bad year, but not the 50 home run season we saw in 2023. They still have Marcell Ozuna. They still have this young core. They're pitching with now that Chris Sale should be healthy. Again, we have Strider. This is a team that everyone has slept on because they won less than 90 games last year, were injured. Some guys had down years.
Which is insane to think about,
Yeah.
that we slept on a team that won less than 90 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And now everyone's healthy. Everyone completely forgot they broke records in the National League 2 years ago with offense.
Yeah.
This is going to be a team that's going to come back, win that division, and be, once again, a World Series contending team.
I have Phillies winning 98 games total. I have them just missing the 100 mark, but I think they're going to win 98 games this year.
Fuck it. Phillies will win 101 games.
It could happen.
You have a
It could happen.
101.
101.
That's a lot of wins, but it could happen.
I'm just waiting for the Bryce Harper down month. That's why I didn't have
yeah.
them.
Yeah, I could completely
Mhm.
bite my tongue on that.
Oh,
Okay.
Alrighty, let's go to the AL West.
NL West.
Oh, I forgot about the NL.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's do the NL West.
All right. I think we're all in agreement. The Rockies bottom of the division.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
not going to be close.
We're not going to get into that. Let's go up one.
How many wins do we have the Rockies at?
What did I have? The Marlins
You
win
had the Fish at 60.
62.
I'm going to say the Rockies have 60 even.
I have them at 63 along with the Marlins.
Okay.
They're not going to be good.
No.
Which sucks because I really like Horsfield.
Yeah, it's just so tough to be a pitcher there.
Mm-hmm. It's great to be a batter there. But anyways, I have San Diego being in the 4th spot for that division.
That's crazy.
I agree with it, though. That's what I have.
I have them winning. I don't have them winning a lot. I have them winning just 70 games on the year.
I have them winning 81,
I'm not.
Winning one.
but 4th in the division.
I still have faith in the Padres. Give me the Giants in the 4th spot. I have them at 77. I just think their IL is going to be stacked by the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's going to be a rough year for them.
Yeah.
All right, 3.
3. Give me San Francisco. Yes, you
I-
heard me. San Francisco is my 3rd team
I agree.
with
I have
just
them,
82 wins.
I have them at 83.
Okay, so you mean around the same mark.
You both have San Francisco at your 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me the D-backs at 3.
It could happen. I almost put them at 4th, but then I realized about, some good things that they have.
D-backs will win 82.
Okay. All right. Now for our 2nd spot, give me the D-backs. D-backs are going to be in there, but with a win total of 85.
I have the Diamondbacks as well, number 2. I have them winning 90. And
Whoa, okay.
because their pitching is
Whoa,
now going
90.
their pitching is now going to be one of the best in the National League.
It is.
Their offense, they lost Peterson, they lost Christian Walker. They grabbed in an RBI machine.
I
Josh
think
Naylor,
losing
so.
Walker is going to be a big adjustment for
Yeah,
them.
that's
But
good.
everyone needs to remember that Corbin Carroll can bounce back and be one of the best players
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
National
for
League.
sure.
again.
Agreed.
So there's a lot that what ifs, but I feel confident that the Diamondbacks will be a playoff team.
At my number 2, give me the San Diego Padres.
You have number 2.
I have them winning 89.
They have a good manager too.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. All right. I think we're all in agreement. The Dodgers are going to win this.
Yeah.
Yes, they will.
Now the total of wins. Where were you standing?
I have them at 102.
I have them at 100 even.
I also have them at 100 even.
This is the best team in baseball.
Yes, you heard me right. The Phillies will have 1 win more than the Dodgers.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm an idiot.
All right, let's get to the AL West. Athletic. Oh, well, okay. All in agreement. Athletics are the worst team in that division.
No.
I have Angels.
No.
I have Angels
Yeah.
as the worst.
Give me the
team.
Angels.
Really?
Give me the Angels
I've-
on that last
I
one.
have the Angels winning the second least amount of games in 59.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not that hard on them. Angels will win 64.
I have the Athletics winning just 56 games.
Yikes.
They don't have a home field, and that's going to kill them.
That's true, but I don't know. I'm a little bit more of an A's believer with how deep that roster
Nah,
is.
I'm not. I think they're gonna,
This is so strange. Our the Pirates fan appreciation week series is against the A's. Why?
Because we appreciate our fans.
Okay.
Mm.
Anyways, moving on to the 4.
We especially appreciate our home fans. Anyways,
Poor Athletics.
Yeah. Let's move on to the 4.
I got the Angels at my 4 spot.
Okay.
Not winning much more than them. I have them winning just 60 games.
Oof.
I have the Athletics at 4, winning 76, which seems crazy. I have them winning 76 though.
This is gonna piss a lot of people off, but give me the Mariners at my 4.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think I just don't think they have it in them to. I think they need to like really start a rebuild. I'm gonna say they win 73 games.
Okay.
That would be interesting.
Did you go your pick already?
Yeah, the Athletics at 4.
Okay. So a 3rd spot, I have Seattle. I don't think they have enough mustard to go above the Rangers or the Astros in the division. I think they're in that like little lull, like for how the Nationals were, and that like that lower seed. Now they're a good team. They're gonna be a good team all year. I just don't. I see them winning probably 83 games, 84 games on the year. In that little third spot, they're like, oh, we're in this division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Give me the A's at my
Oh.
3.
Why?
Dude, I love that roster. I love the Severino pick. I love the Urshela pick. A's will win 78 games.
I have the Mariners at 3rd, winning, like the Padres, 81 games. I think them along with the Padres will be the most mediocre team just because of the pitching and offensive dynamic. I do think that Julio Rodriguez will have a better year. We'll have to see, but I have the Mariners winning 81 flat.
Yeah.
All right, your 2nd place team. No, mine's different. Go ahead.
Mine's
it-
different. Mine's kind of different.
All right. Give me the Houston Astros.
Okay,
At my
that's
number
what I was
2.
gonna do too.
That's exactly what
Yeah, I don't think the Astros have it this year. I think
No.
Texas is just going to be hot. They're going to be a hot team, and I think the Astros are just going to win 87 to 88 games.
I have 86.
I have 86 as well.
I have Texas winning 90 games.
I have them winning 89.
I have them winning 92.
Okay, so we're all in the general area.
Because everyone forgets that the Rangers won the World Series 2 years ago. They were hurt like crazy, especially in the rotation last year.
I don't like the Rangers organization for reasons we won't get into, but yeah, no, they're going to be a solid team.
Yeah.
And people forget, again, we mentioned Jacob deGrom, but Tyler Mahle should be healthy too. He's a very consistent pitcher when healthy.
And like how I mentioned earlier, Jack Leiter's in that rotation too
Yeah.
that everyone forgets about.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, they just placed Molly on waivers.
Oh, did they really?
I think so.
That's actually crazy. He was a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah, he was-
but he's been hurt a lot. But
Alrighty, let's go to the AL East.
Yeah.
This is going to be a hard one to pick.
I think the 5 shouldn't be that tough.
No, it's not that tough. Give me
There-
Tampa Bay.
I have Tampa Bay too. I was going to say I
Tampa
wasn't
Bay.
sure where
Okay,
you guys
we're
were
all
going.
Tampa Bay.
But they will be the best last place team.
Yeah, I have them as at 69 wins.
I have them at 75.
I have them at 70 flat.
Okay.
75 for a last place team is probably generous.
Yeah.
It could happen though.
Yeah.
So
All right, let's go to the 4th spot. I got Toronto.
I have Toronto as well.
I have Toronto.
There's a lot of problems in that organization that it's gonna kill their locker room. I think.
Woo, Max Scherzer's your ace. That's great.
Yeah, and it's just like there's a lot of problems there, and they have Vladdy to deal with, who's probably going to be traded by trade deadline. So like,
yeah.
I have them winning. I have them winning a couple more games. I have them sitting at the 79 mark on the season.
I also have him at 79.
I have them at 82. I think Bo Bichette having a monster first half because he's on a contract year.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and
Bichette's
he's
a
going to get
contract.
traded, but still.
Yeah, that's one player there.
It is one player. I just think that's going to help him because he had such a bad year last year, which is so unlike him because he's a very good hitter. So
Bichette, this is a prove-it year for Bichette.
Oh, yes, it is.
yeah, because he needs to get paid, and he's on a contract year. So
Yes, he is. All right, in the 3rd spot, I have the New York Yankees.
I do as well.
I do as well.
We're all in agreement.
Yeah.
They lost too much to be on top of this division.
Yeah.
And with Garrett Cole being done already, it's just too much.
They'll
lost
still
too much.
be in a
Yeah.
wild card spot
Yeah, I'm not gonna say they're gonna be in the playoffs. They're gonna be in a wild card spot,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be hard for them this year.
because the other two divisions are just bleh.
I have
in
them
the
at the
AL.
86, 87 range.
I have them at 89 wins, taking on a wild card spot as well.
Okay.
I have them at 88.
Okay. All right, now your 2 spot.
Boston, baby, Boston.
Give me Baltimore.
Are you insane?
I have Baltimore as well.
What?
I think Boston's gonna get hot, and when they do, they're gonna be on a roll.
They're gonna
Yeah.
get hot, but not that hot.
Listen here. I have Baltimore at 90 wins. I have Boston at 91.
I have a similar race. I have Orioles 92 wins, Red Sox 94. I think it's going to be very close, but I think the Red Sox experience in the postseason not only will help them in the regular season, but carry them in the
I have to
playoffs.
agree with that. And Baltimore's roster struggled in the playoffs the past 2 times they've been in it.
They definitely struggle in the playoffs.
So I think that's the thing. When they're going to be in a playoff mindset at the end of September again. And I think they're going to struggle again in that stretch.
I have the Red Sox at 90. Yes, I have the Orioles in the first, and I have them at 96.
Jeez.
They could win 90. I mean, there's so many teams that have a ceiling to where it makes total sense.
Yeah.
That they can reach that. So
Yeah.
All righty, let's go to the second worst team in all of the MLB. I mean, not second worst team, second worst division in all of MLB, the AL Central.
Ugh, both Central divisions are so bad. All right, let's do the count off. We know who that last place team is going to be. 3, 2, 1. White Sox.
Sox.
All right.
It's so easy.
No, I think we're going to be at the 57 mark.
I'm not giving them the benefit of doubt. 44 wins.
Oh my god!
I have them as the worst team in the MLB with 55.
What's the record for least wins?
I think it was the expansion Mets, right? Or did the White Sox have the least amount of wins last year?
Worst record all time MLB. Cleveland Spiders 134.
120 and 134 is insane.
Yes.
That's insane.
Wow.
Pittsburgh Alleghenies. What the?
That was before they were the Pirates.
Oh, that was right before modern era. Okay, let's go to modern era. 36 177 Philadelphia Athletics.
The 2024 Chicago White Sox. We're top 5. Yeah, 3 more wins. Yeah, 44.
Wow.
I don't have. That's insane. That is insane.
How many wins do you have, Jake?
55.
55.
No, I still have them as the worst team in the
Yeah.
league, but I have them at 55.
Alrighty, let's go to our 4th spot. Give me the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, I'm
Agreed.
taking the Twins as well.
100% agreed.
I haven't won in just 61 games.
Okay, that's harsh.
Oh, that's crazy, actually.
That's harsh. I'm going to say they win 75.
I 100% agree. I have them written down as 75.
I just don't see that. Like I see them having a god awful year, like a terrible year.
I mean, they will once again be the walking IL.
Yeah, they're an injured team.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the 3 spot. Give me the Kansas City Royals.
I agree.
Oh.
I agree with it.
That's nuts.
I have them at 3 as well.
Give me the Tigers at 3.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
How many wins?
81.
How many wins?
I have the Royals at 85.
I also have them at like 86, 85.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now second seed. Give me the Guardians.
Yeah, I'm taking the
I
Guardians
have the
as well.
Tigers at 86 wins.
I have the Detroit. I have Guardians winning just 87 games.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Guardians at 88.
All right, now Detroit. I have them at 94 wins. Win
Ooh.
division.
I like the Tigers a lot. I go to a lot of Erie Seawolves games, so I've seen Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson in Double-A, and Kerry Carpenter, and Kerry Carpenter's fantastic right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I have the Kansas City Royals winning the AL Central.
How many wins?
90.
Wow. Well, Wow, what a way to end.
Well, I have the Guardians at 88 wins, winning the division.
Ooh.
I think they're the only team in the AL Central that makes the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah, I think the Astros and the Orioles and the Yankees are all
Yeah,
wild card
I always
teams.
see one team out of there.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us today.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today. And Jake, why don't you go ahead and explain to the fans at home how we can reach you, your team, and your podcast?
Absolutely. So we are on YouTube. We are family. We are on Instagram as well. Same thing exactly. We're on TikTok, Twitter as well. Anything with We Are Family, sports, podcasts, whatever, you'll find us. We have a little Steelers-like logo with me, Peyton, and Nate. So it should be easy to find. And we also are going on to Spotify as well. So you can see us on Spotify at We Are Family as well. So.
Well, we are both thankful that you were able to sit down and talk to us today. We had so much fun having you in studio today.
Thank you, guys. This was a lot of fun. I love baseball, my favorite sport, so I'm glad I got to yap with you guys.
Yeah.
We love yapping some ball.
We love yapping about ball, especially baseball. But I think that's going to kick it for us today. And you can see us here this next week at Wednesday will be our post for not this show. Next show will be next Wednesday. This show will be this Wednesday, right?
Yep.
If we're right before the opening day. And then stay tuned. We might post some clips, and I hope you enjoy the vlog. We will be doing more of those coming down the aisle, especially in the summertime.
Especially with baseball season.
Especially with baseball coming around. Well, that's it for us. I'm Ryan Thielet.
I'm Isaac Graves.
And this was the Thielet and Graves podcast, brought to you by the Center for Media Innovations at Point Park University. Enjoy your weekend.